Today we're into Premodern to play a deck with one of the silliest plans I've ever seen. We're playing 127 card mono white stacks, and the idea of this deck is we don't actually have to win the game. We just have to make sure that we never lose the game, and because we're essentially playing two decks in one, our opponent's going to run out of cards first, and we'll win by them milling out. Can this plan work? Let's find out. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Against the Odds. So this week, we're heading to Premodern to play one of the most ridiculous looking decks that I've ever seen. So, the idea of this deck is if you never die in a game of Magic, you'll win eventually. So this is 127 card, 112 in the main deck, mono white stacks, I guess. So the theory of this deck is that by playing 112 cards in the main deck, we don't actually have to win the game because we have almost twice as many cards as our opponent will have in their deck. All we really need to do is stay alive until our opponent runs out of cards and they die to drawing on an empty library and milling out. So in theory, we do have cards that could maybe kill our opponent. Like if you want to see a win condition, out of our 112 main deck cards, we have a couple of Decree of Justices, which we can cycle to make a bunch of soldiers or maybe make angels with. There's Eternal Dragon, which is really in our deck to generate card advantage, but technically can be a 5/5 flyer. And then I guess there's also like Mishra's Factory, a Kajoran Outpost, can make 1/1 soldier tokens. So in theory, there are cards that could get our opponent's life total to 0, but the real plan of this deck is to just make it so our opponent can't play Magic and trust it because we're playing so many cards, eventually we're going to get the mill kill. So the actual plan of this deck is we just have all the most brutal stacks pieces imaginable. So if we get rid of these win cons, we are playing Rout, we're playing Winds of Wrath, we're playing Wrath of God. So we have this huge pile of Wrath for creature decks. So if you play creatures, we just blow up all your creatures. Then to make things even worse, we have Humility, one of the meanest cards ever made. 4-mana enchantment, all creatures lose all abilities and have base power and toughness of 1/1. So essentially, all your cool stuff is now 1/1s that don't do anything. Also, the dragon in the art, I don't know what's going on with that dragon, but that art is awesome. Foglio is just the best. So that is the creature plan of the deck. Then we have, well, also Ensnaring Bridge, I guess, speaking of brutal stacks pieces, that also can just keep our opponent from attacking. And Ensnaring Bridge kind of shows off one of the sneaky plans of this deck that I love. So for card advantage, we have Grafted Skullclamp. So Grafted Skullclamp, it's a 4-mana artifact. It says, at the beginning of your draw step, you draw an extra card. And the beginning of your end step, you have to discard your hand. So the idea is we can play, or maybe use Enlightened Tutor, which can tutor up a lot of our brutal cards, but we can play a Grafted Skullclamp to draw extra cards. But then on our end step, we have to discard the cards. So during our opponent's turn, we'll have 0 cards in hand, which means our opponent isn't going to be able to attack us because of the Ensnaring Bridge. But then during our turn, if we do want to actually try to win with creatures, we can draw a card and attack with our 1/1s from Kajoran Outpost or whatever, maybe our Decree of Justice tokens. So Grafted Skullclamp, really, really key to our deck actually working. It's our main source of card advantage. And then we also just have a ton of ways to disrupt our opponent's mana. So Icy Manipulator can tap down our opponent's lands, can also tap down creatures. We have in our mana base, Dust Bowls, blow up non-basic lands. We can sack one of our lands and pay 3 and tap it to blow up one of our opponent's lands. We also have somewhere in here a bunch of Wastelands and Richard imports, more ways to tax our opponent's mana base, blowing up non-basic lands, tapping down any land. So against non-creature decks, they don't really care about all of our Wraths and Humilities. Our plan there is to disrupt the mana, make it so our opponent can't really cast anything. And then eventually we Enlighten Tutor to find our one Mishra's Helix. And this is a card that just locks the game. So Mishra's Helix, 5-mana artifact, we pay X and tap it to tap X target lands. So as long as we have more lands than our opponent, we can just take and tap our opponent out every single turn. Normally this wouldn't be great, right? Because we're not progressing the game. We're doing nothing, our opponent's doing nothing. But because we have 127 cards, we just win eventually. So if we can just tap our opponent out every turn and they can never play Magic, eventually they just run out of cards, and we win the game by them milling out. So that's really the plan of the deck. Other notable cards, we have one Peace of Mind that we can get with Enlightened Tutor. Works pretty well with Grafted Skull Clamp. It's pay a white, discard a card, gain 3 life. So with Grafted Skull Clamp, we're going to have cards that we discard on our end step anyway, so it's kind of free to just discard them to Peace of Mind, so this can really buffer our life total in some matchups. And then we just get some random removal, like Ray of Revelation, Seal of Cleansing, deal with artifacts and enchantments. We got some swords to deal with creatures early in the game, and then a bunch of ramp to get to our expensive stuff quicker. Marble Diamond, Fellware Stone, Mindware Stone, Little Graveyard Hate, and Phyrexian Furnace, a couple of Skirt Scrolls, and that's essentially the deck. So that is 127 card, win by never losing, mono white stacks for Premodern, and that's a deck we're going to try out today. So I have no idea how this is going to go. Is this deck good? Is it bad? Can we even finish a game without timing out? Is it actually practical to win by never dying? Let's find out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy the gameplay, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some Magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. We're playing some Premodern today with 127 card. If you can never lose, you're going to win eventually. Mono white stacks. Basically, this deck has essentially 0 real win cons, and we are just trusting that if we play 127 cards and we just stacks and kill all of our opponent's stuff, eventually we will win because our opponent will either give up or they will draw their entire deck. So let's see if this ridiculous plan can actually work. And we have some brutal cards. That is part of the fun of playing Premodern, is we have stuff like Humility, we got a million Rasponent, Attic Ways, okay, and passing. We find Marble Diamond's not bad. Let's play a Plains, pass the turn. Hopefully our opponent's playing creatures, because do we have a lot of Wraths. Even just in hand, we have a lot of Rasponent Island, and Standstill. I don't know if this is good for our opponent, actually. We might kind of be okay with this. We have 103 cards left in our deck. We're kind of okay with doing nothing for a while. I'm kind of cool with that. Let's play this port and upkeep. Tap down your Attic Ways. Opponent gonna draw a card. And Fairy Conclave. All right, I mean, that's not going to beat us. We have the ports, we got the wastelands. We would like to hit our lands, though. Let's play a wasteland, and we will pass the turn. And this time, let's just port down Fairy Conclave. Opponent, 52 cards in the deck. 52 more draw. 51 now. 51 turns, and we got them. 51 turns, and we got him. Opponent passes. We draw a Plains. Okay, Plains is good. Play the Plains. Pass the turn. The countdown is on. The countdown is already on. 50 cards in the deck. And we will port your Fairy Conclave. Actually, this is kind of great for us, because we can just start doing Eternal Dragon shenanigans. Opponent, Mishra's Factory. We are going to have to blow up some of these creature lands eventually. Well, 1 and 2, let's cycle an Eternal Dragon. Snag us a Plains. And untap, draw. We will just pass this turn. We are going to want to start getting that back eventually. We also have some Graveyard Hate and Phyrexian Furnace. Let's just pass the turn. And upkeep, we will port down your Mishra's Factory. Opponent. Gonna do a little passing. I kind of want to get back the Eternal Dragon. And then we, take a little? Yeah, you know what? I think it's worth it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get back Eternal Dragon. So this does mean we're going to take a little damage this turn on another Eternal Dragon. Well, we need to discard hand size, so I think we get rid of Phyrexian Furnace and Winds of Wrath. All right, opponent, you are free to damage us for 1 turn. Fire up your creature land's friend. Once we get up to 7 mana, we can get it back and cycle in the same turn. So eventually, Yeah, here they come. Here they come, opponent. Getting frisky. Mishra's Factory. Gonna get in there. 48 cards in the deck. The win con's coming. Opponent passes. We draw a Ray of Revelation. Well, 1 and 2. Let's just plain cycle Eternal Dragon. Get our land drop for the turn. Play our land drop. Pass the turn. Buckle up, everyone. This might be a long one. Opponent untaps. We will port. Tap down your factory. Passing. Well, 1 and 2. Let's cycle the Eternal Dragon. Grab another plains. On our upkeep. Actually, do we even want to get it back yet? I think we wait another turn. Let's just draw. We draw the plains, play the plains, pass the turn. I mean, at some point we can pop the standstill. We just don't have anything that great to play yet. Like, I guess Enlightened Tutor would be kind of nice, but we just don't have anything that exciting to play. Although, popping the standstill, that is 3 more cards out of our opponent's deck. Discarding the hand size. Well, let's get back an Eternal Dragon. Draw for our turn. Ooh, Thawing Glaciers is sweet. I think we have to wait a turn, though. So let's play the plains. I think our deck is kind of relatively well set up for this matchup. We will discard the Wrath of God. We do need to be aware of clock. This might be a clock issue eventually. Opponent going to cycle a Decree of Justice. All right. Well, this is going to make us do something eventually. Because we are going to have to beat that 1/1. Or we could draw a creature land. Let's discard a Marble Diamond. I don't think we're going to need the ramp now. Port. Tap down your factory. Opponent. Flooded Strand. And gonna get in for 1. All right, so we do need to be aware. Okay, Decree of Justice is a bit of an issue. We do need to be aware of the Decree of Justice. Opponent passes. No Eternal Dragon this turn. We draw Fellware Stone. Well, let's play the Thawing Glaciers. And pass the turn. We might crack this standstill on our opponent's end step. We might have reached the cracking standstill stage of this game. Well, let's port down the factory. We can just use a Ray of Revelation to blow it up. And that'll put our opponent down to 40 cards. And then we can actually try to start doing things. They're discarding a ton of hand size anyway. Opponent gets in for 1. Hits us. Oh, do we start playing? Yeah, I think we start playing. All right, let's Ray of Revelation, blow up the standstill. Opponent gets to draw 3. Goes up to 11 cards in hand, down to 40 cards in their deck. So we are a third of the way there. Opponent gonna have to discard a bunch to hand size. Well, let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. What? What we really want is Dust Bowl. Dust Bowl to start blowing up these lands would be optimal. Opponent Impulse, Mana Leak, 2 lands discarded. All right, we just untap and draw. Find another Thawing Glaciers. Well, let's 1/2 play a Fellware Stone. If you want to counter that, go for it. Play a Thawing Glaciers. Pass the turn. I mean, this is still going to be a slow, grindy game. Opponent passes. Gonna crack the Flooded Strand. Another card out of the deck, down to 39. Gets a plains. And Impulse. Okay, 38. Down to 38. Maybe these impulses are actually our friends. So opponent finds a card. Still got 7 in hand. Untap. So we will port down your factory. Another factory. So we are going to have to start dealing with factories eventually. Opponent getting in, hitting us. And a powder keg. Okay, that's fine. Don't really care about the powder keg. And another standstill. Another standstill. So in response, we will Enlighten Tutor. Let's just take an Icy Manipulator. Take the Icy Manipulator. Opponent gets down their standstill. We're not going to make them draw this turn. So we will untap. We draw the Icy Manipulator. Let's Thawing Glaciers. Get another plains out of the deck. Pass the turn. Pick up the Thawing Glaciers. Taking up the powder keg. Well, we will port down a factory. We are going to have to blow this standstill at some point. Coastal Tower. Gonna fire up the factory. Well, we will wasteland the factory. Opponent, combat. Alright, well, let's Thawing Glaciers. Get another... This time we'll get the forest. We do have one forest for flashing back Ray of Revelation. Pick up the Thawing Glaciers. Draw for our turn. Wrath of God. Alright, let's play a Thawing Glaciers. And pass the turn. Little worried about our opponent finding another decree would be kind of scary. I mean, we also have a couple of decrees if we can find one. Let's port down a factory. Opponent's gonna fire up the Fairy Conclave. Okay. Yeah, let's Swords it now. Swords of Fairy Conclave. This does give our opponent 3 more standstill cards. Also puts them down to 32 in their deck. Alright, opponent gonna counter spell. Sure. Well, let's see how many counters they got. Opponent hits us down to 11. And passes. Alright, we draw a Wasteland. Okay, Wasteland's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's Icy Manipulator. Play a Wasteland and pass the turn. Doing the same thing, finding more answers to these lands. Opponent. Gonna blow up the Manipulator. Disenchant. Alright, disenchants the Manipulator. Sure. So, upkeep, we will port down a Mishra's Factory. Opponent gonna fire up the Conclave. Well, in response, we will blow up the Conclave. Alright, opponent's down to a single factory at the moment. They still have the Soldier that we have to deal with at some point. We're doing a good job of thinning all the lands out of our deck. Opponent does have 7 cards in hand. Opponent, combat, opponent. Gonna get in and hit us. Sure. Down to 10. At some point, we're gonna start playing Eternal Dragons. Let's Thawing Glaciers, grab another land. Untap. Pick up the Glaciers. Still want a Dust Bowl. That is what I want the most. Plains. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7. Let's cast an Eternal Dragon. And Thawing Glaciers. We also have this Ensnaring Bridge in hand, so there is some motivation for trying to get low on cards. Opponent, Impulse. All right, we've gone through half of our opponent's deck. They're down to 30 cards in their deck. Oh, we haven't been able to stick too many. Like, we've done a good job of controlling the lands, but we haven't managed to stick a big Stax piece yet. Opponent, Impulses. All right, Swords Eternal Dragon. I mean, that gains us a bunch of life, which is nice. So opponent's going to pass. We are going to port down the Mishra's Factory. I mean, since we're thinning the lands out of our deck too, sooner our opponent finds a Dust Bowl. Okay, that is a problem. Although we do have more lands than our opponent, so it might be more of a long-term problem. Let's get back the Eternal Dragon. Draw for our turn. We draw Mind Stone. Well, 1 and 2. Play the Mind Stone. Play the Thawing Glaciers. Pass the turn. Oh, this game. Is our opponent going to start the Dust Bowling? I mean, if they start Dust Bowling, they can blow up the port. Ooh, they're going to cycle a decree. All right, so this might actually come down to whether we can resolve this Wrath of God. If they can counter the Wrath of God, these 1/1s are going to do some work. Opponent passes. Well, port down the factory. Maybe we have to stop Thawing Glaciers so we can get cards out of our hands so we can try to get this bridge down. Opponent. Even more standstills. Sure. Opponent's going to go to combat. Opponent. Going to get in for 5. I mean, opponent is drawing all the cards. That is for sure. Let's Thawing Glaciers one more time. Grab a Plains. It's okay, Bearby. It's okay. That's just a loud truck. It's okay, bud. It's okay. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. Bear, not a Thawing Glaciers fan, apparently. All right, we untap and draw. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrath of God. Opponent, draw a bunch of cards. Opponent's going to counterspell. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrath of God. All right, so we got rid of the tokens. Play the Plains. And let's get down Ensnaring Bridge. All right, opponent lets it go. Well, we will pass the turn. It's okay, bud. It's okay. Bears really does not like this matchup. Pass the turn. Pound it. Are we Dust Bowling the port? Is that the plan? All right, they're going to Dust Bowl the port. We're not going to Thawing Glaciers because we actually want to get low on cards for this bridge. Powder Keg. Taking it up. Yeah, it's unfortunate they found a Dust Bowl and we didn't. Although they also are playing half the number of cards as us. So I guess it makes sense that they would find the Dust Bowl and we wouldn't. We have plenty of lands to function. The next question, oh, they found another Mishra's Factory. All right, opponent's going to get in. And they can pump if they want to. Yeah, these creature lands are definitely an annoyance. They are definitely a big annoyance. We have so many wraths for creatures, but the fact that our opponent's deck does not play any creatures outside of those decrees is actually kind of an issue. I don't know if we can live another 23 cards or not. Oh my god, we draw another Thawing Glaciers, which is kind of horrible. Well, play a Thawing Glaciers. Play an Eternal Dragon. Yeah, these lands. My goodness, opponent. Fact or fiction? Alright, Fairy Conclave versus. If you want the creature land, you're going to have to dump the rest. Don't really care about the Humilities and Wrath of Gods and all that stuff. Opponent, wow. Alright, takes the Humilities and Wrath of Gods and all that stuff. Interesting. Interesting. Opponent, Impulse. It's going to keep digging. I mean, they're looking for some sort of answer here. The Powder Keg can get rid of this Ensnaring Bridge eventually, which is an issue. Our Ray of Revelation only hits enchantments. Yeah, this might be an awkward matchup just because... because all of their threats are lands, and that is, I mean, we have the ports, we have the wastelands, but they do get around our removal pretty effectively. And our opponent's just drawn a million times. I mean, we're generating some virtual card advantage with like the Thawing Glaciers, but our opponent just generates way more card advantage than we do. The good news is we have officially gotten ahead on clock. Opponent discards a bunch of hand size down to 15 cards in their library. We draw a Dust Bowl. All right, we draw a Factory. Well, let's play the Factory and pass the turn. The bad news is this means we still haven't gotten low enough on cards for this bridge. Oh, Decree of Justice, and that's going to kill us. That is going to make us... Okay, hang on. All right. Mind Stone, you got to save us. We need a route. Right now. Swords. Well, let's Swords the Eternal Dragon. Go up to 11. This keeps us alive for the turn. Unsure if this is going to be enough to let us win the game, though, because this Powder Keg can get rid of the bridge. So that is the issue. Found it. Flooded Strand. Man, we got so close. 13 cards. 13 cards left. Oh, we were so close. I mean, considering we never found any card draw, and our opponent has all the answers. Opponent, gonna fire up a factory. Gonna go to combat. I mean, we're gonna fire up a factory. Make you do something. All right, opponent swords the factory. So we go to 13 for now. Yeah, this Powder Keg. We need to top deck something. Opponent hits us to 3. Opponent passes. 12 cards in their deck. We draw a route. Interesting. Well, we will play a Thawing Glacier. Play a Wrath of God. Pass the turn. So the problem we have here, so we have the route, which we can actually cast at instant speed. Our opponent, though, gets to blow up the bridge, which is a big issue. Opponent gonna start exiling cards, sure. And then they're gonna Factor Fiction again. Well, Counterspell versus. And opponent gonna take the Counterspell, and that actually officially is gonna do it. We never found the Dust Bowl. 7! We got them to 7 cards. So the problem is they just fire up a factory and attack. We can cast the route, but we know they can Counterspell the route. Oh yeah. Yeah, opponent fires it up, and we are just going to concede. Oh, okay, okay. I mean, we didn't win that one, but considering this has to be on the list of worst matchups for our deck, like pretty high on the list compared to all these creature decks where we should be doing really well. I think Standstill is about as bad as it gets. We made it close. We made it close. Do we have anything that is good against this deck? Also, worth mentioning, typically those decks play like one powder keg, one humility. I guess they did see a lot of their deck eventually. I mean, so Disenchants seem better than Ray of Revelations. Phyrexian Furnace doesn't really do anything. Sacred Ground, I guess, is actually kind of fine against the Dust Bowls. And then maybe an Abolish? Do we want another Peace of Mind? Actually, Peace of Mind actually seems kind of relevant. Let's try it like that. All right, on to game number 2. We are on the play. Oh, we need to get through 6 more cards. 6. Are we going to keep this? I don't think we can keep the one-lander. We have a bunch of cards we want, but I don't think we can keep the one-lander. All right, this we will keep. Just so hard to actually resolve anything against this deck. That is the issue. So we will keep. We'll put a Wrath to the bottom. So we can Enlighten Tutor. Long term, we want to get a Grafted Skull Clamp to start drawing cards. Opponent's doing some serious mulliganing here. Well, okay. Opponent does not have that many cards in hand. Let's play a Plains, pass the turn. Opponent going to play the Fairy Conclave. Well, we will untap. We draw. We will... Oh boy, that's hard to pass up. Wasteland. Blow up the Fairy Conclave. Yeah, I mean, with our opponent on the Mullafor, I think just blowing up the land has a lot of value. Opponent. Factory. And passing. Well, let's Enlighten Tutor. I think we actually are going to take Grafted Skull Clamp for when we get to it. Untap, Plains. Mind Stone. Go. Opponent. More factories. Are we chipping in for 2? Are we chipping in for 2? We got chip in for 2. What else are we doing with our lives, opponent? Fire up that factory. Get in there. Hits us down to 18. Sure. Well, we will play a factory at 1, 2, 3, and 4. Step 1. Humility you. Go. Here comes the stacks pieces. Here comes the stacks pieces. Found it. Gonna fire up the factory. Get in for 1. Oh, it's still 2? It's still 2. Okay. We kind of want to just draw land here. Okay, there's a land. So we can play the port. This is great. We can play the port. We can play the... Oh, it doesn't work. Because our lands don't make colors. All right, so in that case, we will just play a Grafted Skull Clamp. So we get to draw an extra card on our upkeep. We discard our hand on our end step. All right, opponent finds a Plains. Here comes the colored mana. Fires up the factory. Pumps the factory. Hits us down to 13. Sure. We draw a Fellwar Stone and an Eternal Dragon. Well, okay, so 1, 2, cycle Eternal Dragon. Get a Plains. Play the Plains. Play the Fellwar Stone. Pass the turn. Discard nothing. And we're just gonna wait. We just wait, and if they try to activate a factory, then we port it. I guess they can still activate the other factory, but then I think that's fine. At least they don't get to pump. Finds a disenchant for our Grafted Skull Clamp. That is actually a bummer. We actually kind of really wanted that. We draw a not great Marble Diamond. Well, let's play the Marble Diamond. I think we got to stop and get back this Eternal Dragon on our upkeep. I think that's got to be the plan. Opponent, gonna fire up a factory. Well, we will tap the factory. Opponent, gonna fire up the other factory. I mean, we will trade. I think this is worth it. I mean, factory. Fire it up. The humility factory battles. Kill it. Upkeep. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's get back the Eternal Dragon. Oh, we draw a bridge. Okay. Well, we will just pass the turn. And opponent. Oh, blue mana. All right, found the blue mana. You can get down your standstill. Opponent gonna play a standstill. Well, we will tap down your planes. Opponent passes. We draw another planes. Well, let's play the planes and pass the turn. So we're back to doing nothing for a while. Upkeep. Port the factory. Finds even more factories. All right. We untap and draw. We find another port. All right. 2 ports for 2 factories. We will take it. Pass the turn. Upkeep. Opponent. Going to impulse and let us draw 3 cards. Thank you, opponent. You're a true friend. Okay. Well, that works out. Opponent. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, that's the best kind of standstill, when your opponent plays it and you get the cards from it. We do need to be aware of the clock. We have fallen behind on time again by about a minute, so we do need to be aware of that. Opponent untaps. Upkeep. We will port your factory. And port your other factory. So opponent fires up a couple tapped factories. Plays a Flooded Strand. Well, let's cycle an Eternal Dragon. Get another planes. Untap. Draw. Ooh, Grafted Skull Clamp. Okay, not time for that yet, but soon. So we're going to play a Core Haven. Play Ensnaring Bridge. Opponent going to crack the Flooded Strand. What a grindy match. Opponent's still got 45 cards in their deck this time, so they have a ways to go. Well, port your factory. And sure, go to your draw step, port your factory. Oh, Factory Wars. Opponent gonna Factor Fiction? Sure. So opponent, Decree of Justice versus everything? Yeah, Decree of Justice versus everything. If you want the decree, you can have it. Otherwise, wow, opponent takes the decree. Interesting. Interesting. Opponent really wants the 1/1s. So our challenge is going to be getting out of cards. Opponent passes. I guess the Grafted Skull Clamp does help. So we untap and draw. We draw an Icy Manipulator. So we play the land. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play an Icy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Grafted Skull Clamp. Pass the turn. So we discard. Sure. On your upkeep, we will port your factory and manipulator your factory. All right, let's see if they have another enchantment or artifact removal spell. Opponent finds a Dust Bowl. Opponent's been way better at drawing the Dust Bowls than we have, that's for sure. Opponent passes. All right, so we get to draw 2. Seal of Cleansing and Forest. Well, okay, 1, 2. Play a Seal of Cleansing. Play a Forest. Pass the turn. Oh no, we're almost 2 minutes behind now. Man, this is the standstill match. My God, this is going to be a 5-hour league. Opponent. Decree of Justice. Gonna make a couple of 1/1s. Sure. They can't attack because we are currently empty-handed. Opponent untaps. Well, we will port your factory. We will port your factory. We will icy your Adhikar Waste. All right. And opponent untaps. Plays an island. Oh my God, this game. Opponent tapping a bunch of mana. 5 mana. A Morphling. All right. Well, if that could attack, that would be an issue. Opponent passes. We get to draw a couple cards. Plains and Disenchant. Well, play the Plains. And we will just pass the turn. Discard. I mean, Morphling also has no abilities, so upkeep. Port you. Tap the factory. Port you. Tap the factory. Icy you. Tap your Dust Bowl. Oh, opponent untaps and draws. I mean, as long as we keep this Crafted Skull Clamp, life is kind of good. Opponent for Flitted Strand passes. We untap. We get to draw 2. Wrath of God and Disenchant. Well, let's Wrath of God. See if they got the counter. All right, opponent counter spells. Sure. Well, we will pass the turn. The nice thing about Crafted Skull Clamp is discarding our hand is actually an upside once we have the Ensnaring Bridge down. This is the way we can make sure we stay empty-handed. Opponent passes, we discard. We untap, upkeep, port you, tap down. Man, we're just going to time out though, aren't we? Tap down the factory, port you, tap down the factory, icy you, tap down the Dust Bowl, pass the turn. About it, adapts, draws. About it. Oh, they find the Disenchant? They found a Powder Keg. Okay, well, we can blow that up with our Seal of Cleansing. Opponent passes. We untap. We get to draw 2. It's a Route. And a Dust... Oh, there's the Dust Bowl. Well, let's Route. See if our opponent's got another counter. They do. Okay, but we have a Dust Bowl. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dust Bowl. Oh, I'm actually over tapping. Well, we're not going to worry about this because we're going to run out of time. Sack a land. Blow up our opponent's Dust Bowl. And pass turn. Opponent untaps. We will port your factory. Port your factory. Tap them both down. Opponent takes up the Powder Keg. Sure. I mean, we have the Seal of Cleansing, so we do have the answer to that. Opponent untaps 3 cards in. I mean, this is going exactly how we want it to go, other than the fact that we're at risk of running out of time. Blow up the Powder Keg. Untap. We draw. Ooh, Humility again. Another Humility. And a Plane. So play the Plains. Second Humility. Dust Bowl. Blow up a factory. Pass the turn. All right, we're attacking the mana. We discard our empty hand. Upkeep. Port your factory. Upkeep. Port your Adhikar Waste. Manipulator your planes. I mean, we got them locked. Can we close out this game? We're falling further behind it. Oh, man, you got to play this deck fast, apparently. Opponent. Stand still. Impulse. Okay, Impulse. Down under 30 cards. We got them halfway through the deck. We need to find, I guess, a Decree of Justice to actually try to win because of clock purposes. Opponent. Passing. Crafted Skull Clamp. We get to draw a couple cards. Thawing Glaciers. And a Humility. Well, we will. 1, 2, 3. Dust Bowl. Blow up your Adhikar Waste. Sack a land. Play a Thawing Glaciers. Play another Humility. Everyone's humble. Everyone is humble. There is no doubt about that. Pass the turn. Upkeep. Man, this is actually super fun, even if we don't win. Manipulator. Tap your factory. Mind Stone. Port your Coastal Tower. Port your Plains. All right, no white mana. Opponent untaps. Plains. All right, more white mana. Opponent pass it. We draw 2 cards. Are they good cards? Mishra's Factory and Mind Stone. Well, 1 and 2. Play a Mind Stone. Play a Mishra's Factory. 1, 2, 3. Dust Bowl. Blow up the factory. Pass the turn. Down to 4 minutes and 43 seconds. Discard our empty hand. Opponent adapts. Upkeep. Port you. Tap down your planes. Port you. Tap down your Coastal Tower. Icy you. Tap down your blades. The grind is on. Opponent untaps. Draws another planes. Goes to combat. Passing. Thigh Glaciers. Get a land out of the deck so we keep sacking. How about a Curse Scroll? Even a Curse Scroll might work. We pick up the Thawing Glaciers. We draw 2 cards. Oh, Peace of Mind. Okay, Peace of Mind gives us life. I mean, we're definitely not going to die. The question is, can we play fast enough to not... Oh, let's play the Peace of Mind. Can we play fast enough to not time out is the issue. So Peace of Mind. Pay 1. Discard the Marble Diamond. Play the Thawing Glaciers. pass the turn. There is a downside to not believing in win cons, which is, unsurprisingly, it takes a long time to close out the game. So, let's see. Richard Import, tap down Coastal Tower. Richard Import, tap down a Plains. Icy Manipulator, tap down a Plains. So I should have done that differently. We should have Dust Bowled the tower. Pound it. Passing. Well, 1, 2, 3, Dust Bowl. Blow up the Coastal Tower, untap, draw 2. Humility, more Humilities, and a Plains. Well, okay, so we will Peace of Mind, discard the Humility. Play the Plains. Pass the turn. 26 cards, 3 minutes, 26 seconds. We discard our empty hand, opponent passes. Upkeep, Port, tap your Plains. It's crazy that Port hits basics. Port, tap your Plains. Icy, tap your Plains. Phyrexian Furnace, sure. 25 cards in the deck. And what a match. Exile the card from the graveyard, sure. That's fine. That is acceptable. About it. Opponent. Gonna exile a card, draw a card. I mean, the thing, we could be getting back the Eternal Dragons. Remember, there's Humilities, so they're 1/1s, which makes them much less exciting as 1/1s with no abilities. So we will snag a Plains. We will untap. At some point, we can crack these Mind Stones, I guess. All right, we get to draw a couple cards. Swords to Plowshares. Wasteland. Well, we will play the Wasteland. We will, I guess, just pass the turn again. Actually, no. We'll discard these cards, I think. Discard a card, gain 3, up to 19. Discard a card, gain 3, up to... I mean, we're seeing the synergies. The clock is against us, though. Maybe we need an actual finisher. Opponent passes. All right, port your land. It just takes time to do all this porting. Port your land. It is awesome, but it does take time. Manipulator your land. Opponent passing. All right, we will crack a Mind Stone, draw a card. Another Icy. I mean, we are locking this up. Mind Stone, draw a card. Port. All right, we untap. We find a Velware Stone and a Disenchant. Well, we play the Port. Play another Icy. Play a Velware Stone. Discard the Disenchant. Pass the turn. The problem is we're under 2 minutes on the clock and they still have 23 cards. Opponent. Factor Fiction. Decree of Justice versus 18 cards. We're getting closer. The problem is the clock is just against us. Okay, we're going to have to play this deck super fast. Honestly, most matchups will not be standstill, hopefully. I think it's in large part the matchup. All right. Port your land. So opponent's going to make a bunch of soldiers. Doesn't really matter, though, because they still can't attack through the Ensnaring Bridge. I guess it matters if they also figure out a way to get rid of Ensnaring Bridge. But we're gaining life now, too. All right, opponent, sure. Decree of Justice, that's fine. Opponent, Attica Waste, passes. We draw a Plains and a Marble. So many mana rocks. All right, 1, 2, 3... Dust Bowl. Blow up the Attica Waste. Play a Marble Diamond. Play a Plains. Pass the turn. On your upkeep. We will. Oh, we're just going to time out. Is it possible to play this deck without timing out? Tap a land. Opponent's going to float a mana. Are they just trying to eat clock? Is that where this is going? Tap a land. I think they're just trying to eat clock. Tap a land. Oh, okay. They're actually going to do something. Factor Fiction. Sure. 5-0. 5-0. Take them all, opponent. Opponent gets them all. The cards don't... None of this matters. All that matters is the clock that says 1 minute and 1 second. That is the issue. That is the issue. Icy a land. I mean, we can almost completely tap our opponent out every single turn. The stacks is working. 127 cards. It's working. Opponent impulses. Sure. Down to 11 cards in their deck. Again, we came so close. Okay. Oh, man. What a matchup. What a ridiculous game of Magic. All right, opponent. Oh, this game. Island. I don't even feel like we played especially slowly. there's just like not a win con. So it's going to take a long time to kill anybody because there's not really a win con. Opponent. I mean, we also like have not found we do have 2 Decree of Justices, which would actually be a win con. We untap, we draw 2. Wins a Wrath, sure. And a Helix. So we literally can tap out all their stuff. So we will port down your island. Opponent floats a mana. We will pass the turn to our second main phase. We will route. Destroy all the creatures. We will Mishra's Helix. Discard nothing. Upkeep. So Helix is pay X, tap X lands. So now we can actually just tap our opponent out every single turn. The problem is 17 seconds. 17 seconds. I mean, we have basically played through an entire deck. Opponent's got 9 cards. We have 59 cards, but we started almost 120. Found it. Found another Decree. Gonna cycle. But this just ends with us. Yeah, too many clicks. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to play this deck super fast. Also, maybe we just avoid standstill matchups in the future. Alright, opponent cycles, make some soldiers. Discards to hand size, passes. We get to draw 2 cards. Swords to plowshares. And a route. Well, we will route. Blow up your soldiers. Yeah. And that just does it. Ah! Good game. Good game. Good game. Oh! They gave us the victory. Aww. Okay. Okay, I don't know why. But with 3 seconds on our clock, so I don't know. I've never seen this player before. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they decided we deserve the victory, or if they just, I don't know. But okay, so, well, technically we're going to lose to the clock for sure. I will say we were 100% to win this game at this point. Like, we just have too many things stacked up. There's 3 humilities. We have all the mana. Now that we have our Mishra's Helix, every turn we just tap all of our opponent's lands on their upkeep. We're drawing 2 cards a turn. We're up to 28 life with the Peace of Mind. So this is exactly what the deck is trying to do. The only problem is we're in a matchup where our opponent was playing Standstill and had a lot of very annoying stuff for us to deal with, which required a ton of porting. And then we just didn't have enough clock, but our opponent came through. Well, thank you. Thank you, opponent. We appreciate it. So apparently we did not win that match, and I'm just an idiot. I don't really understand exactly what happened. Moto is showing that we lost the match 1-2, but we definitely didn't get to a game 3, and somehow we timed out with time still on the clock. That's what threw me off. Is normally when you time out, your clock is at 0, but we timed out with like a few seconds still on the clock. So yes, I take it all back. Our opponent, not as nice of a person as I was thinking. I mean, they were a very nice person, but not as nice as to just scoop with 3 seconds on our clock to give us a win. Good news is we're back and we're doing it again. And hopefully this time it will not be standstill. My God. All right, we can keep this. We get a bunch of ramp. We don't have any payoffs, but we do have a little bit of removal. We got some disruption. We're going to try it. See what our opponent's up to. Please not stand still. Please not stand still. Please. They're mulliganing to 5. That scares me. That makes me think they might be standstill, and they're like, oh, we're going to find standstill anyway and get all of our cards back. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a combo deck. I don't know how combo goes. I think this deck just really wants to play against creature decks. Just like decks that are like, I'm just going to play a bunch of creatures. I think that's what we really want. Opponent Schwamp and Cabal Therapy. All right, what are we naming? In the dark. There ain't no way you're naming any of these cards. I would be blown away if you somehow name one of these. What? No way. I mean, okay. So maybe our opponent knows what we're doing by the number of cards in our deck. But, all right, so our opponent blind guesses swords with Cabal Therapy on turn 1, taking away our one real piece of interaction. Opponent untaps. Opponent, Lana Warways. Not even the old version. Plays a Wall of Blossoms, sure. Well, We are going to play a port and start tapping down your stuff. Let the staxing begin. Port your Llanowar Ways. Would you like to flash back your Cabal Therapy, opponent? Next turn, we can Wasteland, blow up the Llanowar Waste, and start tapping the Swamp to really keep our opponent off mana for a while. Ooh, opponent finds another Llanowar Waste. Okay, okay. Wow, they're going to sack it. Cabal Therapy. What are you, Marble Diamond? What are you naming? Swords again? All right, Phil. I guess our opponent just wants to take cards from our hand. That is their goal, just take cards from our hand. All right, opponent, we are going to punish you for that. Not a fan, opponent, not a fan. So we're going to play a Wasteland. We're going to Wasteland your Llanowar Ways. We're going to pass the turn. We're going to port your other Llanowar Ways. This aggression will not stand. Sturtle 420 with your aggro Cabal Therapies. Opponent, Swamp, and pass it. We draw a Ray of Revelation. Not super exciting. We'll play a Plains and play a Phyrexian Furnace so we can start exiling away our opponent's graveyard. I think they could be like a Recurring Nightmare style deck. We're definitely going to port the Llanowar Waste again. See if we can keep our opponent off green mana for a bit. Opponent untaps. Wow, another Llanowar Waste. Okay, opponent very good at drawing Llanowar Waste. Plays a Pernicious Steeds. Okay. I mean, that is obnoxious until we blow it up. We're going to play a Mishra's Factory. And I think we just exile a card from your graveyard. Ray of Revelation, your Pernicious Steeds. Pass the turn. And, of course, do a little porting. Just a wee bit of porting. Port down your Llanowar Ways. Opponent on taps. Forest. They are drawing a lot of lands. Opponent passes. We find a Wasteland. Okay. Well, exile the Deeds. Play the Wasteland. Play the Marble Diamond. Pass the turn. Do we spend our Wasteland is the question. That is the question. We're definitely porting. You know what? I think we actually do. Let's port the the Llanowar Ways. Just keep our opponent as low on resources as possible. Opponent. Phyrexian Furnace. Gonna attack our graveyard. Sure. That is fine. Opponent passes. We draw. Ooh, there's the Grafted Skullclamp. That is big. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get down Icy Manipulator. We do want to get our pieces down first. We want to go Ensnaring Bridge into the Grafted Skullclamp. Also wouldn't mind destroying a land. Would be fine. Found it. Phyrexian Furnace, sure. Gonna keep eating things. And Wall of Blossoms to draw a card. I mean, they probably do have answers in their deck. They seem like a color combination that could potentially blow up. Ooh, there's a land. All right, so exile a card. Play the Core Haven. Play the Ensnaring Bridge. And then next turn we get down the Grafted Skullclamp and see if we can start drawing cards. So upkeep, we will Icy Manipulator your forest. We're just going to cut our opponent off green. Sure, get your forest, get your Llanowar Ways. Opponent going to start exiling Wastelands. We don't have any ways to get Wasteland back from our graveyard, really, so that isn't a big deal. Opponent. We draw a Swords. Well, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play the Grafted Skullclamp. Swords of Wall of Blossoms. And pass the turn. Okay, so as long as this Grafted Skullclamp lives, I like where we're at. If the Grafted Skullclamp dies here, gonna be a little sad, because then we lost our card advantage engine. Tap down the Llanowar Ways. All right, opponent, can you blow it up? Opponent gonna keep exiling the graveyard. Opponent untaps. I mean, they shouldn't have that much artifact tape, but they might have some. Opponent forest, and ooh, passing? Okay, we're gonna get Skullclamp draws. That's huge. Grafted Skullclamp. There's an Eternal Dragon. That's big. And an Enlightened Tutor. So, 1, 2. Let's Plains Cycle Eternal Dragon. Get a Plains. Play the plains. Enlighten Tutor. You know what? I think we just take another Grafted Skull Clamp. Second Grafted Skull Clamp, pass the turn. Nothing to discard. On your upkeep, tap the Llanowar Ways. Tap a forest. Oh, man. I love decks like this. Old school Magic is so much fun. It's so, oh man, it's just so good. Same thing as like the bracket. It just like reminds me of how good Magic is as a game, how good it can be as a game. Opponent Treetop Village. Well, that's not going to last super long. So opponent passes. We're going to draw 2. We get a Grafted Skull Clamp and a Route. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Grafted Skull Clamp number 2. And we will pass the turn. Opponent, 43 cards in their deck. We still got a ways to go. We will discard our hand twice. Look at this art, too. Would not want to wear that one. Opponent, untaps. Well, now we need to start porting the Treetop Village. I mean, I guess we don't even really have to, because we still have... Because we still have our Ensnaring Bridge, but opponent exiles the swords. Passing. Do we want our Eternal Dragon? You know what? Let's just let it go. We're drawing so many cards. We're gonna lose it, but that's fine. Ooh, Kaldurian Outpost. That's a clock. That's an actual clock. We draw 3. Oh, Dust Bowl is more important though. So we're gonna play a Phyrexian Furnace. We're gonna play the Dust Bowl, and we are really gonna start making our opponent sad. All right, the lock is strengthening. We'll discard the Outpost. Sure. Opponent untaps. On your upkeep, we will tap down your Llanowar Ways. Opponent can exile a card, sure. We will tap down a forest. All right, opponent, your go. Untaps, plays a land. I think we start the Dust Bowling. So Dust Bowl, sack of plains, blow up the treetop. Opponent ended up with a lot of lands in play, considering they started on the mulligan. Enlighten Tutor, Mind Stone, and Wrath. So, 1, 2, let's play the Mind Stone. Let's Enlighten Tutor. Cursed Scroll. Sack this to draw the Cursed Scroll. Play the Cursed Scroll. All right, we have a clock. Pay 3. Choose a card name. Opponent reveals it. Their hand. If they have the card in their hand, they reveal a card at random from their hand, and if they hit the name card, then they take 2. So we will tap down the Llanowar Ways. We will tap down a swamp. Oh. Did I accidentally tap down a Icy Manipulator? I might have. All right, opponent gonna keep being in the graveyard. I don't think it's super relevant. We'll see. Maybe they play some big bomb and it's very relevant. Ravenous Bala. I mean, that is a big bomb. It's a big bomb that can't really attack us, but it is a big bomb. Opponent passes. We get to draw 3. Wrath of God. Thawing Glaciers. Plains. Well, that's an easy one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wrath of God. Get rid of the Baloth. Opponent gonna zag it, gain a bit of life. Play the Thawing Glaciers. Pass the turn. I mean, I guess we might as well exile that Baloth. All right. Discard the plains. Are we gonna mill out before our opponent this game because we're drawing so many cards? No, we have a clock. The stop wasn't there. All right, opponent, you get all your mana for a turn. You get all your mana for a turn. Not that they're going to use it. All right. I mean, we still might as well do it. So tap that. Tap that. Untap. Draw for our turn. Times 3. Plains and route. Okay, so play the plains. Discard our hand. That's fine. Any order. Sure. This deck. All right. So opponent, on your upkeep, we will first 1, 2, 3. Dust Bowl. Blow up your waste. Opponent's gonna exile a card. Sure. Port, tap a forest. And Icy Manipulator, tap a forest. I swear we're gonna start activating this Curse Scroll at some point. We're getting there. We're getting there. I promise. It is a thing we will do eventually. It's gonna happen. We just need our mana for other things. We had to get rid of that we can't let that Llanowar Waste live. Ooh, Pernicious Deeds. Pernicious Deeds actually a bit of an issue. We would like to find a way to blow that up, because that can blow up all of our artifacts. All right, so we will start with a Thawing Glaciers. We do have enchantment removal in the main deck, so we could hit it. We can sacrifice this, get rid of the Llanowar Waste, draw a card. Enlighten Tutor, okay. Pick up the Thawing Glaciers. Well, what do we find? Humility, Phyrexian Furnace, Swords. So, all right, let's think about this. So they can Pernicious Deeds to blow up all of our stuff. So we will play a Phyrexian Furnace, play a Thawing Glaciers. Oh, wait, this works. So we can Enlighten Tutor. I got a plan. We can Enlighten Tutor for a seal. Enlighten Tutor for Seal of Cleansing. Crack the Phyrexian Furnace to draw the Seal of Cleansing. Then we can play the Seal of Cleansing, blow up Pernicious Deeds. So our opponent can still blow stuff up, but they can't blow up. But they cannot blow up the Grafted Skull Clamps. So sack the Mind Stone, draw a card. We lose a bunch of stuff. All right. We also lose all this stuff in hand, which is awkward. So we got to discard everything. Sure. But we still have our Grafted Skull Clamps, which is the biggest thing. So opponent's also kind of a control deck. We have not played against any just like creature aggro deck so far. Opponent untaps, land, and pass it. We draw Foulware Stone, another Icy, Marble Diamond. Well, let's play as much as we can. Foulware Stone and Marble Diamond and oops, that's not what I was trying to do. Okay. Thawing Glaciers activation instead. How about that? So Grafted Skullclamp triggers. We lose our Icy. I mean, this is still fine. We did kind of want another Icy, but... So on your upkeep, Icy a forest. Port your forest. Opponent's not playing enough non-basics for the Dust Bowl to get there. So now we once again don't really have a clock. I feel like this, we can fire up the factory, but I think it'll just die. Opponent, gonna duress. I think you know that it's a Thawing Glaciers. Opponent sees the Thawing Glaciers and passes. All right, we're gonna get another ICN. Oh, Peace of Mind is huge. So play the Wasteland. All right, 1, 2. Play a Peace of Mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play the Icy Manipulator. And actually, we should pay a white. Discard the Thawing Glaciers. All right. The lock has been assembled. On your upkeep, no green mana. No green mana for you, Sturtle. Tap your forest. Tap your forest. This is our way we can make sure they don't get us with another Pernicious Deed. If we just tap their green every time, they can't play a Pernicious Deed. What a beautiful game this is. About it passes. I know there's an Eternal Dragon. I just don't really think it's worth getting back when another port and a Curse Scroll. All right, so play the port. 1, 2, 3. Play another bridge. Play a Curse Scroll. Pass the turn. Okay. We have found an actual clock. Opponent passes. We will Icy a forest. We will Icy a forest. We will port a forest. And, all right, you may carry on. We're actually going to activate this Curse Scroll. Opponent. Oh, opponent finds a Dust Bowl. Okay. Opponent passes. Well, opponent. We're going to curse scroll you. Let's see. Curse scroll. We will name what? What do we even name here? Let's name Duress. Although our opponent seems like the kind of player who would... What did they reveal? Huh. I don't even know what they revealed. Okay. Apparently not a Duress. We draw planes. We draw planes. We draw Thawing Glaciers. Play the Thawing Glaciers. Discard a planes. Discard a planes. Go up to 29. We're actually kind of at risk of still milling out before our opponent. So Grafted Skull Clamp gonna trigger. See if our opponent Dust Bowls here. Looks like they're going to. See what they target. So they're gonna Dust Bowl a port. So we will Dust Bowl, sack the port, blow up the Dust Bowl. But they did get through a port. All right, on your upkeep, we will Icy a Greed Source. Icy a Greed Source. Port a Greed Source. Little by little. One tap at a time. We near our victory. Tap down the green. Found it. Okay, Eternal Dragon. We will actually play... Oh, there's the Helix. That probably does it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Play the Helix, we will just pass. So now our opponent gets no mana. No mana for the rest of the game. I mean, they do stuff at instant speed, but opponent passes on your upkeep. Helix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my god. Oh no, this is going to be tough. Oh no, this is going to take so much time. 4, 5, 6... 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no. All right. Oh, this is costing way too much time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no. Oh no. Man. I wish it would zoom in a little. All right, let's go 5. All right, so we tap all the green, some of the black. We got to find a faster way to do this, or timing out's going to actually become a thing. Opponent passing. Now let's port down, or icy down a land. Untap. Humility. Skull Clamp. Ray of Revelation. So, let's icy down a swamp. We need to deal damage. Icy a swamp. Fire up a factory. Go to combat. Hit you for 2. Discard our hand. On your upkeep. Mishra's Helix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tap all your lands. Oh, this deck's so brutal. It is so brutal. Pout it. Untaps. And passes. We will Thawing Glaciers. Get a plains out of the deck. Untap. Pick up the Glaciers. So we need 7 mana each turn to tap our opponent out. So we just want to find a way to kill them, I guess. Enlighten Tutor. Oh, Decree. Okay, Decree. So, play a land. So let's Decree of Justice. Cycle it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just make 5. So we'll make 5. We'll pass the turn. We'll discard everything. I think this is good enough. Any order. Discard our hand. Untap Mishra's Helix. We will tap down your mana. 5. We'll tap down 5 lands. So opponent gets 2 black mana this turn. As long as they don't go Green Source Pernicious Deeds, that would undo. All right, they're going to smother one of the tokens. So now, of course, we can draw cards. We can draw cards from our helixes to have enough cards to be able to attack through the bridge. And then discard the cards on our end step so our opponent can't attack through the bridge. So that's kind of the hope your opponent passing. That's also why the Eternal Dragons in the graveyard just don't do much. Opponent passes. Another Ensnaring Bridge. Winds of Wrath. And a Seal of Cleansing. So, 1, 2, we will play a Seal of Cleansing. We will go to combat. Get in with the soldiers. Hit you for 3. Next turn, we can start attacking with the factory, too. Past turn, I know we could be discarding stuff to gain life. I just don't think it's necessary anymore, and it takes extra time. So on your upkeep, Helix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Man, this is actually so clunky. All right, I guess we go 6. We'll go 6 just for time's sake, and then... Oh, opponent. Diabolic Edict. Makes a second soldier. They're trying. And then we can icy the one that got left over. Are we just going to time out again? Oh my god. We're going to time out again, aren't we? Does this deck just always end with a timeout? That can't be the way we want this to work. So we untap, we draw. Skullclap. Forest. Route. So we play the land. Fire up the Mishra's Factory. Go to combat. Hit ya. For 4. Down to 13. Yeah, I guess we discard one of these. Discard the route. Pass the turn. Discard our hand. On your upkeep. It's so much easier to do when it's like this. I don't know why Moto does a zoom out thing. Where in this mode, it's pretty easy to tap down all the lands. So 7. Tap down all your lands. Opponent. Gonna keep smothering. Gonna keep smothering, sure. On our opponent's end step. I don't even know if this curse scroll is worth it. Swamp. I don't even know where it's revealing. I don't even get to see the card, and I don't want to look now because we're running out of time. Dust Bowl, okay, another land. Humility, and Factory. All right, play the land. Fire up the Factory. Oh my jeez, Moto. Fire up the Summoning Sig Factory, I should say. Go to combat. Hit you for 3. We could have gotten an extra point of damage, and that would have saved some time. Hit you. Pass the turn. Discard some cards. Any order. Always any order. I wish there was an always any order. Opponent. Untaps. On your upkeep. Helix. Now it's zoom out mode. I don't know why every other turn it's zoom out mode. That makes it so much worse. 1, 2, 3. This is eating up so much time. It is ridiculous. All right, 6. Moto, why you be like that? All right, tap that down. Then we'll get the other one with the icy. 7 minutes. Man, we're just going to time out again. My goodness. Okay, opponent. Passes. Treetop Village. Sure. We're not going to bother to curse scroll. I don't think it's worth it. It doesn't do anything. We draw a Mind Stone. We draw a Seal of Cleansing. We draw an icy. Well, fire up a Factory. Fire up a Factory. Go to combat. Hit you for 5. Play a Mind Stone. Pass the turn, discard our hand. On your upkeep, do a little tap in. Helix time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we'll go 6. So tap some stuff. Couple swamps remain. Icy a swamp. I think our opponent's just hoping for the clock to win them this game, which is probably not the worst hope. All right, tap him out. We got the win. Opponent's going to pass. We did it. We did it. Uh-oh, opponent found a forest. Okay, we untap. We draw the cards. This should be the game, though. We draw a Dust Bowl. We draw plains. And a Fellware Stone. Well, fire up a Factory. This should finally be it. Fire up a Factory. Go to combat. Hit ya. Hi-yi-yi. With 6 minutes on the... Okay, so... We gotta go aggro mode. This is another grindy control deck. Oh, no. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. What do we do? So... I wonder what deck this is. Is this just like the Rock? What is the actual... I see. So they're not even really a control deck. So our opponent's probably playing something like this. So they're probably going to have some artifact and destruction in the sideboard. Maybe Haunting Echoes. Which Haunting Echoes probably is an incredible blowout. Lots of artifact and enchantment removal. All right. Do we change anything? Actually, I'm probably go down like Ray of Revelation, Seal of Cleansing. I think Peace of Mind makes sense. Let's bring in the Peace of Minds. Tormod's Crypt? Tormod's Crypt makes sense against Haunting Echoes. All right, let's run it like that. Okay. So we got to play fast. That is the biggest thing. We got to play super fast. All right. 6 minutes, 35 seconds. Can we do it? This hand. Oh, I think we got a mulligan because we only have one land. Sure. This hand only has one land, but we got to try it. We will put a Seal of Cleansing to the bottom. All right. If we don't draw a second land quickly, we probably just scoop and go to game 3 for the sake of time. All right, get rid of these upkeep stops for now. All right, opponent, Swamp Band. Cabal Therapy. Are we naming the swords? All right, no sword this time. Opponent passes. Do we draw land? No. So play the land, play the Tormod's Crypt, pass the turn. We'll give it another turn or two, but like I said, if this looks bad, because there's no way we have time to play 2 games in this match without timing out. So if this looks bad, I think we just scoop pretty early to try to have a chance in game 3. So if we don't draw land next turn, we might just scoop. Maybe 2 turns, we'll see. But we're not going to wait that long. Opponent. Pernicious Deeds. Passes. Not a land. All right. We're going to game 3. This is a strategic scoop because I don't think we have enough time to actually play 2 games. So I think considering how that game's going and considering how long it's going to take for either one of us to kill each other, I think we got to just go game 3. There might be some argument to staying and just trying to play super quick to catch back up on clock. But I don't really like trying to win by clock. I feel like I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it if you're not like abusing the system. If you're like intentionally doing silly stuff, like clicking random things just to run the clock, that's pretty bad. But we do need more lands, but we got a port, which is nice. I guess we can cycle this Furnace at some point if we are really desperate. We got a Wrath, got the Skull Clamp. I mean, we have some good cards. They are at 4 mana, so we do need to hit a couple lands to get to them. All right, here we go. Plains and Phyrexian Furnace. Go. Therapy. Duress. All right, well, we can't stop that. So opponent duresses us. What are you most scared of, opponent? Gonna take the Skull Clamp. I guess that makes sense. The card draw is very important. Well, exile a card. Untap. Play a port. Oh, this is going to eat some time, but we got to do it. Pass the turn. I mean, that's part of the problem why this deck takes so long is just the port clicks every turn. Like, it's very powerful, but it also is a bit of a time sink. Opponent passes. We play a land. Pass the turn. On your upkeep. Tap down your forest. Oh, opponent. We might actually just sack this Phyrexian Furnace to draw a card. Opponent finds a forest. Passes. We find a Plains. Well, let's play the Plains, and I think we pass this turn. Yeah, we're just going to pass this turn. We're not going to play one of the big hitters yet. We're going to wait. So we will, on your upkeep, tap down a forest. Tap down a swamp. I expect our opponent's going to have some naturalizes now after sideboarding. Opponent finds a swamp and passing. We will play a wasteland and get down a icy manipulator. Pass the turn. I mean, that's kind of the bait, right? If our opponent blows up the manipulator, then that leaves us with free reign to humility. Tap a forest. Opponent finds a land. All right, there's a Pernicious Deed. So we got to play around that for a while, which is just going to eat up time. Thawing Glaciers. Well, let's play a Thawing Glaciers. Pass the turn. I mean, our opponent can blow it, but we just have to make sure they don't get to eat too much of our stuff. So, port, tap a swamp. Port, tap a swamp. And pass the turn. We don't really want to play the Humility until we draw a way to get rid of the Pernicious Deeds. Opponent, more forests. We will sack the Phyrexian Furnace, though, to draw a card. So sack the Furnace, draw a card. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. There it is. There it is. So, play a Dust Bowl, and let's just 1 and 2 play the Seal of Cleansing. So let's give this a way to get rid of the Pernicious Deeds. Pound it on taps on your upkeep. We will port a land, and port a land. Also, eventually, we're going to be able to cast or cycle a very big Decree of Justice. And that is actually like kind of a fast clock. I mean, we are going to do it. If our opponent wants to blow up the Icy, they can. So opponent, Pernicious Deeds, blows up the Icy. Sure. We untap. We draw swords. Well, we will pass the turn. Okay. Opponent untaps. On your upkeep, port your black source. Port your black source. So we want to get a little bit more mana, hopefully, before we decree. Ideally. Opponent, Ravenous Balos. Sure. Well, let's Thawing Glaciers. Get a Plains. Untap. Pick up the Thawing Glaciers. Enlighten Tutor. That is good. So let's Swords away the Balos. Opponent's going to sack it. Sure. And we will just pass the turn. So, port your swamp. And port your swamp. Volrath Stronghold. Okay. And a Wall of Roots for some manas. And a Phyrexian Furnace. Yeah. Down to 3 cards in hand. And gonna exile a card. Sure. I mean, we are gonna Enlighten Tutor here. We're gonna Enlighten Tutor. I think we still just take Grafted Skull Clamp. Take the Grafted Skull Clamp. Untap draw. Wasteland the Volrath Stronghold. 3 minutes, 33 seconds. We gotta keep the clock in mind. So, port. Tap down your swamp. Port. Tap down your swamp. Gonna exile a card, sure. And pass it. Well, let's Thawing Glaciers, get a Plains. Pick up the Glaciers. Untap. Draw. Peace of Mind. Well, we'll play the Thawing Glaciers. And we will just play a Peace of Mind. Pass the turn. We're getting closer, I swear. I swear we're getting closer. Right now we can cut our opponent off a color, which is very valuable. So I don't really want to lose the ability to cut our opponent off a color. Although the risk of this is if they draw black swords, they might be able to like duress us. So we do need to decree sometime soon, or else we risk that happening, which would be bad. Opponent, Phyrexian Furnace. So this might be the decree turn. Opponent, another Wall of Roots. All right, we untap, we draw. Swords. Well, we're just going to pass the turn and port you. It's not time yet. Soon, but not yet. Port you. We still have 3 minutes. Which is a decent amount of time. Another forest. Phyrexian Furnace, sure. And, all right, Thawing Glaciers, get a Plains. Untap. Pick up the Glaciers. Well, replay the Glaciers. And we will just Humility. Turn everything into 1/1s. Get rid of the mana from the Wall of Roots. Upkeep. Port ya. I'm getting quicker at porting, I think. Upkeep. Port ya. Phyrexian Furnace. Gets in for 2. Sure, we will take it. Well, let's untap. We will draw. Core Haven. I'll play the Core Haven, pass the turn. And I think we give our opponent black mana for a turn, because I think we need to cycle this decree. So opponent, just don't have Pernicious Deeds, please. Opponent untaps. Opponent, Phyrexian Furnace. Opponent, gonna go to combat. Hit us. Down to 16. Oh, they have another Pernicious Deeds. All right. That is a big issue. That is a really big issue, just because of clock purposes. So get a Plains. I guess we got to make him do it. Cycle the decree. Make a bunch of tokens. Draw a factory. Okay, that's a bit of a clock. Is it enough of a clock? I'm not sure. Pick up the Thawing Glaciers. We draw a bridge. We'll go to combat. Get in, hit you with the soldier. See if our opponent pops. Get in, hit you. Smothers a token. Sure. Smothers a token. Well, we'll play a factory and pass the turn. Go back to doing what we do. Although I'm getting nervous about running out of time. Port. Tap down a swamp. Port. Tap down a swamp. Gonna exile a card from the graveyard. They are all gone. You have done it. You have emptied the graveyard. Opponent gonna pass. All right, we untap. We draw. We will play a Thawing Glaciers. Go to combat. Get in with the soldiers. Hit ya. Opponent going to get rid of the humility. Okay, so we'll get rid of a Wall of Roots. So opponent gets back their Wall of Roots. Humility down for now, which actually might not be a bad thing, because when you play this Eternal Dragon... so we will just... Oh no, this clock stuff. Play a Phyrexian Furnace. Crack it to draw a card. It's a Plains. Past it. Man, we're running out of time again. Opponent untaps. Port. Oh man, it's going to be close. Tap a land. Port. Tap a land. Treetop Village. Sure. Well, we will 1, 2, 3, 4. Dust Bowl. Get rid of the Treetop Village. Oh, about it. Passing. At 18 life. We draw Peace of Mind. We'll play the land. Go to combat. Get in with the soldiers. Hit ya. And Thawing Glaciers. Get a Plains. We gotta wait one more turn, I think. Get a Plains. Pass the turn. Pick up the Thawing Glaciers. So the problem is, we need to tap both black sources to keep our opponent off removal. Which means we don't have enough mana to play the Eternal Dragon and still port twice. Next turn, I think we have enough mana that we can do that. So port you, pass the turn. 55 seconds. Man, I don't know if we're going to make it or not. Opponent. Phyrexian Furnace, sure. Phyrexian Furnace, sure. Eats a card from the graveyard, sure. Opponent passes. We untap. We draw. A Fellware Stone. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Hit ya. Opponent's going to block. Opponent's going to drop to 12. We play Eternal Dragon. Play Thawing Glaciers. Pass the turn. Opponent going to crack the Phyrexian Furnace to draw a card. Come on, opponent. Come on. I'm going to crack. Oh, I feel like they're just trying to eat clock. All right, opponent cracks another Phyrexian Furnace, untaps. Well, we will port your black source. Port your black. Come on, opponent. Port your black source. All right, port your stuff. Play as a Treetop Village. I mean, they still can deeds and blow everything up. Man, are we going to just run out of time again? Opponent makes a mana. This might be when they deeds. So there's the deeds. Blows on everything up. Opponent passes. We get back Eternal Dragon. Untap draw. 22 seconds. God dang it. God dang it. Oh my god, it's happening again. Fire up the factory. We're going to be about a minute short. So maybe the actual against the odds of this deck is, can we actually do it without running out of time? That appears to be the actual challenge. Oh man, brutal. This deck is so cool and unique too, but man, it is really difficult to do without timing out. Tap ya, pass the turn. Yeah, we're going to end up literally about a minute short. Found it. Yeah, my elder. I mean, the problem is there's only 8 seconds on the clock, so we just do not have enough time to finish the game. Untap, slowly draw. Play an Eternal Dragon. Takes forever. And time out. I mean, the sad thing about this deck is apparently Moto just... Okay, so we didn't actually lose a game in that match. Our opponent gets the 0-1 win somehow. Oh, okay. So we're finding out the actual against odds of this deck is how in the world do you win without timing out? Because so far, I think we would have won that match, but we timed out. We 100% would have won this match, but we timed out. I think this match there was literally no way. I wonder, man, now I'm starting to think maybe we have to not port sometimes, even when it's correct to port, just to save clock. What a weird scenario. I feel like this deck might actually be broken, but just like too slow to play on the Moto clock. Well, for having 127 cards, the deck's working surprisingly well. Just not enough time. We're playing first, 127 cards, and we have learned we have to play fast. We got to play super fast. The challenge of this deck, I've discovered, is not winning. The deck's really good at winning, it seems like. Well, not really good at actually winning, but it's very good at being in a dominant position. The problem is we just always run out of time. So the real against the odds is, can we actually complete a match without running out of time? So the focus is going to be to play very fast, even, oh no, is this a blue counterspell control deck? The focus is going to be on playing very fast, even from the very beginning of the game. We're just going to play as fast as possible. Let's play a Marble Diamond. Pass the turn. Found it. Going to do a little opting. I don't know how our staxing plan works against spell-based decks. It seems like we have a ton for creature decks. If our opponent's trying to like storm off in some way, though, I mean, it wouldn't be literal storm, but I mean, it could be literal storm. If they're trying to like brain freeze us or something, I mean, I guess you got to do a lot of work because we got 127 cards, but found it, Polluted Delta. I mean, one thing I like is we're ahead on clock right now. We'll see if that matters, but we are ahead on clock by almost a minute, which feels kind of good after how these games have been going. Take all the time you want, opponent. Think away. Think away. 5 minutes, that's fine. I will not complain. 10 minutes, you can take all the time, opponent. Think and pass it. We draw an Ensnaring Bridge. So we are going to 1-2, Plane Cycle and Eternal Dragon. Get a land. Play the land. And let the porting begin. Pass the turn. Upkeep. Port, yeah. Our opponent not cracking the fetch makes me think that maybe they're land light and they're trying to up the number of lands in their deck to increase their chances of drawing one. All right, maybe not. Ooh, City of Brass. You know what's a good port target? We have a win con. We have a win con. Whenever it becomes tapped, not even tapped for mana, our opponent has to take a damage. So all we got to do is tap that City of Brass 20 times, and the game is ours. Or maybe there's some crazy combo coming and we're about to die. All right, opponent passes. We draw an Enlightened Tutor. Well, I mean, I think we just Plane Cycle Eternal Dragon, get another land, play a land, pass the turn, stop on your upkeep, and go back to porting. Port the City of Brass. Ha-ha. Ha-ha. How do you like us now? Oh, we found the win con. We found the win con. Tap that City of Brass. Take that one. Oh, opponent's going to tap in response. Intuition. Oh boy. All right. Well, I mean, this is probably bad for us. Usually when people start intuitioning, that's a sign that death is coming. Opponent wants Cabal Rituals. All right, so opponent gets a go. So they are a Storm deck. I don't know if we can realistically beat a Storm deck. Passing. Well, let's Enlighten Tutor. The question is, what do we Enlighten Tutor for? Ensnaring Bridge isn't going to do much in this matchup. It might actually be the silly Graveyard Hate. I think it's actually the Phyrexian Furnace. To just start eating cards out of our opponent's graveyard. I think that's our best bet here. So we draw Phyrexian Furnace. We will 1-2, play another Marble Diamond. Play the Phyrexian Furnace. Start eating cards from your graveyard. On your upkeep, port the City of Brass. Opponent. Mental Note. All right, well, let's see how far they can go. So opponent mills 2 cards. This is going to turn on. There's an Orm's Chant. This is going to turn on their Cabal Ritual. Does that mean our opponent just wins here? Are they that kind of Storm deck? Dark Ritual. Here they go. Cabal Ritual. Yeah. I feel like this is probably a bad Cabal Ritual. This is probably a bad matchup, right? Because we just don't have things that interact with spells this way. Like, we got to Enlighten Tutor for our literal best artifact or enchantment for the matchup, and it was Phyrexian Furnace. That's not a good sign that this is a good matchup for us. If this is our literal best card against Storm. I mean, opponent's got 9 mana. They have all the mana in the world. The only little bit of good news, little tiny bit of good news, is if they are trying to brain freeze, We do have a lot of cards in our deck. So they can crack this and then use Recoup to flashback to get a spell back from their graveyard, like the Intuition. And then Intuition to get like a win con. I don't know, maybe if they have Tendrils, they might have a shot. Ill-gotten gains. We discard our hand. All right, no response. Well, we got rid of those ensnaring bridges. So we're gonna go Mind Stone, Enlightened Tutor, Eternal Dragon. Opponent got back all Cabal Rituals. Cabal Ritual. How do all... Oh, LED. Okay. LED, Cabal Ritual. Ill-gotten gains. What, they have ill-gotten gains in their graveyard from earlier? Another ill-gotten gains. Huh. Where did that one come from? I mean, the question is still, are they playing Tendrils? If they got Tendrils, then they're going to beat us. If they're not playing Tendrils, we might actually just survive. So opponent going to get 3 cards back again. All right, we get back same cards. Mind Stone, Eternal Dragon, and Enlightened Tutor. Opponent, LED, again. It is funny that we're a mono-white stack and we don't have the pieces to stack Storm. And opponent, in response to the Intuition, going to cast a Brain Freeze to mill 36. All right, opponent's out of cards, but they get the Intuition. Sure, I mean, opponent seems to know what they're doing with this Storm deck. I will give them that. All right, so opponent's going to start milling us, milling us. I think we have to do this every time because of the Phyrexian Furnace. Technically a Graveyard Order Matters card. Mills us. So just another Brain Freeze doesn't do it, right? I mean, I guess maybe can they Brain Freeze, Recoup Brain Freeze? Triple Brain Freeze might be enough if they can actually triple Brain Freeze. Opponent says, I didn't look at the size of your deck. Ha 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 ha. Are we gonna get away with this? We found it. Maybe Storm is a perfect matchup. Maybe we just always want... Now that didn't go too well, XD. Wait, are we gonna win? Are we gonna win just because we're playing 127 cards? I'm still not convinced they don't have it because of Recoup. So Recoup, LED, you sack this for 4, but the Intuition's already resolving. Another Brain Freeze doesn't kill us. Flash of Insight, 2 Deep Analyses. Give our opponent the Flash of Insight. Mill the Deep Analysis. So now our opponent's got to try to piece it together. So I think their plan was just Brain Freeze, Recoup, Brain Freeze, but we have too many cards for that to actually kill us. Maybe they just cast a bunch of Deep Analysis to try to refill their hand? Well, we're winning on clock. That's not going to be a problem. But this might be a deck that actually just beats us. So far it's been decks that we beat, but we don't have enough time to finish it. This might be a deck that beats us, but we're ahead on clock. Found it. Deep Analysis. Gonna draw 2. I mean, they can like Recoup Deep Analysis and mill us for a bunch. Like 45, but that's still not lethal. And if they don't Recoup the Deep Analysis, we can just snipe something with this Phyrexian Furnace next turn from the graveyard. Man, we're gonna have a lot of cards to bring in. Like, we have so many dead cards in this matchup. All of our Wraths do nothing, our Swords do nothing. But we do have a lot of cards, and maybe that's enough. I mean, opponent's really trying to piece this together. Because our opponent, you could tell by how they played, they know their deck, and they were playing very like quickly and cleanly with some very complicated cards. They just didn't realize we were playing so many cards, and now they're trying to do the can I piece together a way to win in a very unexpected situation, and I don't know the answer. I do not know the answer. So Recoup is 4. That would be Storm Count 14. Brain Freeze again is 2, so that would use 6. So our opponent have 2 mana left. So I could Deep Analysis first. I mean, I can see them milling us down to like 20 cards, maybe 15 cards. But then hopefully we just win with Eternal Dragons. I mean, it also depends on what our opponent drew. Wow, another Intuition. Okay. I mean, hopefully last Intuition was not that good. So hopefully our opponent's running out of good things to get. Opponent gets an LED. All right, opponent, you're going to get an LED, sure. Ups the Storm count a bit more. Plays the LED. Out of cards in hand. Storm count at 15. Saxa LED for blue. Deep Analysis. So they still have enough mana that they can get back, they can recoup the Brain Freeze with Storm Count being 18. So they'll mill us for 54, and we have 63 cards, so we'll have 9 cards left. I mean, I think they got to do it this turn, because if they don't piece it together this turn, it's hard for me to see how they, like, all their LEDs are gone. Like, how do you do this again on a future turn? Wow, opponent. Another ill-gotten gains. I'm so confused. Oh, they drew another one off of the Deep Analysis? Good lord. I think our opponent might actually just run well enough that they might actually be able to kill us here. Like, I think our opponent might have actually just ran so hot. Oh, that is so unfortunate. So we'll take an Enlightened Tutor, a Wasteland, Decree of Justice, but now I think we might actually just die. Opponent LED, Storm Count at 18. LED, Storm Count at 19. And Brain Freeze, Storm Count at 20. And that is exactly enough to mill our entire deck, right? I will say, I mean, our opponent played that super well. They also got super lucky. They played it super well and also got incredibly lucky. Well, this might actually just be a literally unwinnable matchup. Like, this might literally be straight up unwinnable. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, we just don't have pieces that interact with this. Like, our deck just, all the Wraths are dead cards. The Sword's a dead card. Ensnaring Bridge is a dead card. And we just don't have enough, like, enough live cards to bring in. So we're going to play some number of dead cards just because we don't have any other options. All right, here we go. Oh, well, I mean, I guess well played to our opponent to actually piece that together. I still feel a little salty because I think they top decking the third ill-gotten gains off of a Deep Analysis mid combo was real. Like, our opponent was out of cards several times during that combo turn, and every time they ran out of cards, they just top decked. The perfect card for the scenario, like, literally. And if they ended up short, they were dead. Like, there's no way they're rebuilding for there. So that one was rough. That one was rough. I still do think this is just a straight up, absolutely unbelievably horrible matchup. Like, however horrible you think this matchup is, I think it is probably 2 or 3 times worse than you think it is. It is as bad as this has got to be like a 90-10 matchup or something. So we'll see. Opponent, mental note, gonna start getting some cards in the graveyard. Mills a Lotus Petal, mills a Chain of Vapor. I mean, we got our best card, our literal best card, Phyrexian Furnace. Are they actually trying to win right now? Dark Ritual out a Deep Analysis. Okay. All right, they're not trying to win right now. Opponent draws a couple cards. We draw a Forest, so we will play the Forest. We will play the Mind Stone. Exile a card from your graveyard. Wasteland the City of Brass. And go back to passing. Opponent untaps. We need to find a clock. Lotus Petal for our opponent. And flashes back the Deep Analysis. Sure. Trying to find lands. Only one more use on the Gemstone Mine. Passing. All right. Well, we will Plain Cycle Eternal Dragon. Opponent got to discard the hand size. And opponent scoops it. Okay. I mean, it's a win. I don't know why it's a win, but okay. I guess our opponent's deck just beat themselves. Okay, that went way easier than I thought. Maybe this is our best matchup. I mean, the Humilities are dead cards too. I mean, I guess we're just cursed to have some dead cards in our deck this matchup. Like, there's just not enough sideboard slots to go around. All right, here we go on to game 3. Can we draw our Tormod's Crypt? That'd be a good one. 1 out of 112 in the main, so 0.9 something percent. Oh, this deck. This format, this matchup. I mean, I'm having so much fun with this deck. I don't know if we're actually going to officially win a game, but I am having fun with it. Ugh, can we keep this? I mean, I don't know how we not keep this, but I also don't know how this hand wins, but I think that's true of most of our hands in this matchup. So this is turn 2 ramp into Icy. Yeah, I think we actually mulligan. I mean, we got some artifact removal. We got some wastelands. Thawing glaciers to the bottom? Yeah, let's try it like that. All right, well, we'll see. Opponent island. And passing. Well, let's play a port, pass the turn. Opponent. We're 10 minutes ahead on clock, which is nice. Opponent plays an island and passes. I'll play a plains. We are going to need another land sometime. Well, let's port a land. Opponent. Cephalid Coliseum. Well, play the wasteland. And yeah, I mean, we got to pass. I don't think we can afford to wasteland. Flash of Insight X1. Sure. So opponent's going to draw a card. Yeah, I think we need to leave. We need to leave this wasteland for now because we actually might need to play a 4-drop. We really need to... opponent Gemstone Mine. All right. Land. Okay, we draw Core Haven. I mean, that is a land. So we will pass the turn. Do we have to wasteland now? Probably. Oh, we got to do it. Wasteland the Gemstone Mine. Doesn't feel great, but we got to do it. Opponent's going to opt. I mean, our opponent might be in the position now where it might be hard for them to kill us before they run out of time, depending on how quickly they can execute their combo. Opponent tanking on the op. There's only 9 minutes on their clock. We got 18 minutes. This is the first game ever with this deck that we're actually doing super well on time. I don't know what to make of this deck. All right, so blow up the Gemstone Mine. We will port down an island. City of Brass. All right, opponent's hitting the land drops. I mean, maybe our opponent's not nervous because I guess once they start comboing, they can win pretty quickly. Opponent passes. Do we draw land? We do. All right, so we hit a plains. That is nice. So we will pass the turn. Opponent doing something. Intuition. All right, what are they going for? Wow, opponent just wants lands. All right, so you can have the City of Brass, I guess. If we're going to give you a land, we're going to give you the painful one at least. All right, so opponent untaps. Port the City of Brass. I wonder if we can get these disenchants to do something. That would be nice. Opponent, another City of Brass. Now we draw a factory, so let's play the factory, and I think we just pass and leave up the disenchants. See if we can use the disenchant to, like, disrupt the combo loop, maybe. Support, tap down to City of Brass. We do know they need double black for some stuff. Plus, this is damage. Bonus down to 15. Our City of Brass tapping plan is working very slowly. I mean, our opponent did have to intuition for lands, so we know they need black mana because they're literally casting intuition just to tutor up lands. Ooh, wait. Oh, wasteland. Okay. In that case, we're going to wasteland a City of Brass. I think there's some argument for getting down an Icy, but I feel like the disenchant could actually disrupt their combo by getting like an LED or something. But getting on the Icy then lets us tap an extra thing, which is nice. Opponent. All right, even more intuitions. Is this intuition for even more black mana? Is our opponent intuitioning? My dream with this disenchant is that our opponent like plays the LED and then tries to play stuff, and we can disenchant the LED at an inopportune time to either kill it or make them discard their hand when they don't want to. So opponent, LEDs and Cabal Rituals. So, all right, I mean, you get the LED. Cabal Rituals go to the graveyard. We're going to tap down the City of Brass. Opponent goes to 13. Oh, if we actually win by tapping the City of Brass, that would be so funny. This is going to be the longest league I've ever recorded. I swear. So we're kind of hoping our opponent runs out the LED. All right, opponent's going to run out a Lotus Petal. Dark Ritual. Okay. Dark Ritual. Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay, cast a spell that's not Ill-Gotten Gains. If they cast a spell that's not Ill-Gotten Gains, then we can try to blow up the LED with the Disenchant. Opponent going to play the Ill-Gotten Gains. Sacrifice everything. Yeah, I mean, no response. Well, let's see if they kill us. Let's see if they can kill us. Now our opponent's going to know about the Disenchant, which does legitimately make it a lot worse. So we're going to get back Wasteland, Wasteland, Disenchant. Opponent gets back Cabal Ritual, Lion's Eye Diamond. All right, Cabal Ritual. Lion's Eye Diamond. And another Where do these ill-gotten gains always come from? I'm so confused. So our opponent discarded another ill-gotten gains, must be? So I guess our opponent discarded another ill-gotten gains, which allowed them to get back the second one, because you can't get back the same one because they go to exile. So our opponent, I must have not noticed them discarded another one. They have been really good at always finding ill-gotten gains at the key moment when they really need it. So opponent gets back 3 cards. Cabal Ritual LED. There is no friggin' thing in the graveyard though, right? Are they gonna Flash of Insight to try to find one? Okay, Cabal Ritual LED. There is no ill-gotten gains. I know there's no ill-gotten gains. Wait, where did the intuition come from? Are we not? Okay, so apparently the revealed cards are not the cards they get back from the graveyard. All right, opponent plays an intuition. I thought the revealed cards were showing what they got back, but I guess we just don't get to know what they got back. That is very awkward. Apparently, some of the cards are what we think, but not always. So opponent gets 2 ill-gotten gains and a Tormod's Crypt. So we will give our opponent Tormod's Crypt. Opponent going to play a Tormod's Crypt. They don't have red mana for recoup, right? Wait, how did they make... I am getting more and more confused. Where did the red mana come from? That is flashback for red mana, right? Like, am I missing something? Where did the red mana come from? So opponent, yeah, recoup goes to exile, gets back an ill-gotten gains, plays an ill-gotten gains. Well, 1, 2, 3. Get them all back. All right, opponent. Let's see if you can do it. Opponent, Cabal Ritual. Lion's Eye Diamond. I still don't really understand where that red mana came from. Ill-gotten gains, again. I mean, this is literally the last one, right? We have gone through literally every recoup, every ill-gotten gains. We discard our hand. We get them back. The storm count's got to be over 30 to actually kill us, and they're at 18 right now. With 1 minute and 12 seconds on the clock. So do we win a game? Is this the league that only ends with people timing out? Is that where we're at? I don't think they can do it. I'm actually feeling more confident now. I'm not convinced they can actually get the storm count high enough to kill us here. My God, the weirdest league that I've ever played. Well, you know what? We're getting back. Wasteland, Disenchant. The only 3 cards in the graveyard. All right, storm count at 18. LED, sure. Well, they can't do the ill-gotten gains loop again because there ain't no more ill-gotten gains. They are literally all in exile. There's no recoup to get things back from the graveyard. Intuition, bone it. What can you find this time? Intuitions, and in response casts a Brain Freeze. Gonna do some milling, but I think they only play 1 recoup, right? I mean, I guess if they can... They don't even have the mana. I think we just survive. Sure, mill us. For once, it feels nice to not be the player that is running out of time. For once in our lives. Mill, okay, yes, you mill them all. That is fine. Good thing we're playing 112 cards in the main deck. Makes it a little harder to brain freeze us. Well, I mean, let's see if they can get something that kills us here. Intuition, what are we looking for? 13 seconds on the clock. If they're playing another recoup, maybe, but I don't think they have the mana. Opponent, more brain freezes, but I think they're going to time out with the trigger on the stack. Oh my god. Ah, this league! We finally get an official win, but we get the official win because our deck has too many cards for opponent to brain freeze storm us to death in time, and they run out of clock. What is even this format? Oh my god. Premodern, ladies and gentlemen. Well, okay, so we had a game that I think we would have won that we didn't win because a match that I think we would have won but we didn't win because we time out. Then we had a match that we 100% would have won and we're up 1-0 but didn't win because we timed out. And now we have a match where we definitely, well, not even, definitely actually would have lost, but our opponent couldn't do enough stuff to mill 112 main deck cards in time, and they time out. I don't think I've ever played a league where every match has been a timeout so far. We are back here for round number 4, and it's a new day. This league is so long that I actually have changed clothes, got a new hat. We are ready to go for round 4. Seriously, we're gonna mulligan this hand that does nothing. This is better. Ooh, we got a grafted skull climb. This is better. We'll put the Ray of Revelation, I think, to the bottom. So far this league, round 1, 50-minute match, ends with us timing out. Maybe would have won. Round 2, 50-minute match, 51 minutes actually. We definitely would have won. But oh, it's a creature deck, finally. Oh my god, okay. I imagine this is the matchup that we would like to play. I mean, this is the matchup where having a whole bunch of rats might actually be very powerful. Opponent looks like an elves deck, so we'll see how this goes. We even have our swords. So in theory, we swords into Marble Diamond, into hopefully this route. And then round 3, of course, only 40 minutes. That was our quick match. Still didn't finish it though. This time our opponent times out with a potentially lethal brain freeze on the stack. This has been something else. This is going to be like a 4+ hour league. This is the longest. I'm pretty sure this is literally going to be the longest league I've ever played. We'll see. Well, maybe these last matches will go super quick somehow, but I mean, I guess that's what we should have expected with the no Priest of Titania. So I think we let that resolve and then we swords the Priest. The Birchlore Ranger is tap 2 elves to make 1 mana. Priest of Titania, though, is make a whole bunch of mana. So we'll get rid of that. Untap. All right, we hit a Mind Stone. That's fine. The Mind Stone's actually good. That means we definitely are going to be able to ramp into this route. I mean, the dream is cast this route into Grafted Skull Clamp, start drawing cards. So we got to live 2 more turns. Artifact Destruction could be an issue. Opponent. Gonna draw a card with a Multani's Acolyte. I don't think I've ever played against Premodern Elves. How scary is Premodern Elves? I mean, I assume if we get to route them, less scary, but opponent. Gonna tap a couple elves. Gonna make some manas. Good thing they don't have that Well-Wisher. That would have been really bad. Or Priest of Titania, rather. Opponent picks up a land, replays the land. Wall of Roots. Gonna keep the mana flowing. What is the finisher? What is the finisher of Premodern Elves? Opponent, gonna make another mana, gonna tap some elves. They're still going. Another Wall of Roots. Are we done yet? 2 cards in hand. Opponent still going. Lana War Elves. Okay. Opponent's down to 1 card in hand. I mean, that does mean that this route should live up to its name. All right, opponent, see if you can kill us this turn. Opponent's got to pay the Echo if they want to keep the Acolytes, which they only got 1 card in hand, so they might. Yeah, I don't know what the finisher is. Literal overrun? Can they literally just overrun us to death? Not if they pay for this. So they are going to, okay, we should be good then. So I think this means they can't really overrun, or they'd have to tap like all their creatures and overrun doesn't do anything. If we draw another land, we can actually route at instant speed, which is even more devastating. Opponent, gonna pick up, untap a creature. Sure, make some more manas. Replays the land. Survival of the Fittest, very powerful card. And opponent, gonna start doing survival things by the looks. Wow, discards an Nantucco Vigilante. Could have went after artifacts. Instead gets a Squee Goblin Nabob. All right, so that's gonna let our opponent try to rebuild very slowly. We'll see if it's enough. So that's gonna let them survival every turn. Although the biggest problem for our opponent is, I mean, they're just going to be down to almost nothing after this route. Opponent, still going. Gonna discard the Squee. Gonna tutor up something. What are we tutoring up this time? Opponent says, we kind of want them to just tutor up and play something, and then we get the literal full Wrath. Wirewood Symbiote. All right, so that lets our opponent save an elf when we go to route. All right, so opponent's out of cards. They can chip in and hit us for like 4. Oh, they're gonna try to draw some cards. They pick up the Acolyte, replay the Acolyte, draw a card. So if we draw land, we try to Wrath at instant speed. If we do not draw land, we just route at sorcery speed and trust, hopefully, it's still good enough. We draw an Icy Manipulator. So, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, the downside of Elf Ball. Very good at putting creatures on the board. Not that great against route. This is kind of a blow. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 for 1? I mean, our opponent, because of this survival, does still have some chance to rebuild. They can pick up something, probably the card draw elf, with the Wayward Symbiote. They still have the Squee that they can use to tutor up more elves. The biggest problem for our opponent is going to be... They're going to untap the Llanowar. The biggest problem for our opponent's going to be... They're just going to lose a ton of mana. All right, so opponent makes a bunch of mana, floats a bunch of mana, so they can do survival-y things. Opponent discards a Thornscape Battle Mage. Tutors up in Anger. They do need a Mountain, so they're going to need to tutor up. They tutor up a Basking Rootwalla. Okay, discards a Basking Rootwalla. Oh, this is like a Madness Elf deck? Okay, maybe. I mean, maybe this is scarier than I realize. The Anger does sort of change things. That does make our Wrath a lot worse. Opponent gets a Priest of Titania. Now they have a Priest of Titania they can play with haste to get their mana again. We actually kind of want to... Oh, and they find the Mountain. Okay. Wow, that is unfortunate. So now we actually kind of want to draw another Wrath. These hasty elves are an issue. Opponent Quirion Ranger with haste. Priest of Titania with haste. Yeah, that is frightening. Opponent combat. Opponent getting in. Getting in. Can we draw one more Wrath? Opponent passes. We find an Enlightened Tutor. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. What can we tutor up? Can we tutor up? We don't have a Wrath we can tutor up, right? Oh, we can tutor up Ensnaring Bridge, but then they can tutor up an answer to Ensnaring Bridge. We can tutor... Oh, Humility. That's what we want. Okay, so we're going to play Icy Manipulator. We're going to pass the turn. On our opponent's upkeep... We're going to try to tap down this Priest of Titania. Opponent, going to discard the Queen, going to Squee, tutor up something. Hopefully Humility is enough here. Opponent gets a Deranged Hermit. Okay, that is scary. So, well, we are going to Icy the Priest of Titania. This might actually just kill us. Opponent discards the Squee. Man, I thought we had this for sure. Are we going to lose this? Gets a Wirewood Symbiote. So now I don't even know if we can Humility. Because our opponent's going to play the Deranged Hermit. It all has haste. That's a lot of bodies. If we Humility, the bodies actually stick around. Opponent's going to untap the Priest of Titania, replay the land. I mean, it's got to be Deranged Hermit coming. So now the question is, do we even Enlighten Tutor? Opponent, Deranged Hermit. Yeah, I mean, that is a lot of hasty power. They do have to pay Echo. But they can also return it to hand. Man, are we dead? Opponent swings with that. Man, I can't believe we're losing to this deck. Opponent hits us to 5. So Humility is not enough, right? So we literally have to top deck another Wrath. We could try to get an Enlighten Tutor. We can Enlighten Tutor for Ensnaring Bridge. Because of the survival, I imagine they just tutor up an answer. They just tutor up an answer to the bridge. And we know they have them because they've already discarded some of them. Yeah, I mean, I don't see something we can tutor up. Like, we die if we Humility to the board. Yeah, we got to draw. All right. Come on, Magic Gods. Seal of Cleansing, that can kill the survival and the fittest, but that are like, not fast enough. Yeah, so we got to sack Mind Stone and hope to draw a literal Wrath God off the top. Magic Gods, please. Please. I mean, this is game. It's got to be Wrath of God. 4 out of 100. It's a 4% chance. It's a Dust Bowl. Man. Okay, so Cursed Totem comes in. I mean, if this is not a good matchup for our deck, I don't even know. I don't even know what is. Like, if we cannot beat elves, what are we even doing? So we're gonna go up the curse totem for sure. Probably go down the helix. I don't think tapping our opponent's lands is gonna be that effective in this matchup. Humility is great if we can get it down in time. Man, we even had the route too. I thought the route was going to be enough, but I was not expecting the red mana hasty stuff. Like, the haste really changed everything. Yeah, maybe we just go... I kind of want more peace of mind. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. All right, let's go 2. Let's run it like that. Well, I mean, that was a faster match. We're not in danger of running out of time. That's good. Oh, so we have... So what pieces do we need to lock up this game? Maybe Graveyard Hate is part of it too. Well, I mean, there's Graveyard Hate. I mean, we're going to keep this. This hand is interesting. I'm not sure how good it is. So the Phyrexian Furnace does mean that our opponent's not going to be able to pop off with Anger, which is nice. That is good news. Opponent, land, and Fyndhorn Elves. Bad news is we don't have any Wraths. Well, play a Wasteland, play a Mindstone, play a Phyrexian Furnace, pass the... I mean, this is going to be... Play the Grafted Skull Clamp and hope that it sticks. If they can just blow it up, life becomes very, very bad. Opponent. Because we have to discard our hand. Birdslow Rangers. Opponent going to try to make some more mana. Fyndhorn Elves. Opponent. Going to play another Fyndhorn Elves. You can tap them both to make a mana if you'd like. This does kind of give them hasty mana, since you can tap to the ability, even if you don't have... Hey, oh my god, that's a Gaia's Cradle. Well, that's a bunch of extra manas. Opponent untaps. Is this just turn 2 Deranged Hermit? I mean, if this is... Oh, it's a morph. So that can blow up artifacts. So they're going to flip it right now to blow up the Mind Stone to put us off mana. So we draw planes. We need to Wasteland the Gaia's Cradle. Sack this, draw a card. Ray of Revelation, eh? All right, well, we will pass. Oh, that's brutal. Losing that mana is very bad. Turns out, Gaia's Cradle. It's a very good magic card. We even had the Wasteland, but one turn of Gaia's Cradle was enough to put our opponent super far ahead. Well, oh, sadly, we are getting close to the Wrath or Bust stage already. Oh, I feel like this should be a good matchup, but Elfball gonna Elfball. Like, Elfball is really good at making a lot of mana and putting a lot of creatures on the battlefield very fast. And if we don't hit our Wraths and don't hit our Humilities, we can just get overran by all these dorky creatures. Bounces Miltani's Acolyte, replays Miltani's Acolyte, finds red mana in the Wooded Foothills, cracks the Wooded Foothills, gets a Forest. Gonna play the Fyndhorn Elves again. All right, opponent has taken many game actions. They're still taking more. It's a Basking Root Walla. Yeah, losing that Mana Rock was actually very, very bad for us. Opponent gets in. Well, I mean, I guess we play an Ensnaring Bridge. I think we're dead. I think we might be dead. We can't even get empty-handed. We need to draw land for this Grafted Skull Clamp to discard our hand, and we need our opponent to not draw more artifact removal. But we know they can bounce an Nantucket Vigilant with the Wirewood Symbiote, so we know that there's no way... Oh, it's not an elf. Okay, so they actually can't bounce it with the Symbiote. All right, well, that's a little bit of good news. We are still in a horrible position. Our best bet is we top deck a land... We play the Skull Clamp to be able to discard our hand and hide behind the Ensnaring Bridge. That is the hope. We don't have enough mana to draw Wrath, which is very, very scary. Getting that Mind Stone blown up by that one Gaia's Cradle turn is really bad. Opponent looking to make 5 mana. Deranged Hermit, it's a Deranged Hermit. All right, at least it doesn't have haste. So if we draw a land, we are theoretically still maybe okay. But we need to top deck a land right now. And that still leaves us in the position where if they can blow up the bridge, we're so screwed. Yeah, I mean, that's a fast Deranged Hermit. Bound it. Vintorn Elves, gonna keep making mana. All right, like, do we draw land? That is the question. Opponent gonna get in, gonna hit us for 5. Well, that's a game. Untap land. It's a Marble Diamond. Man. Well, we completed a match, although I gotta say I'm pretty disappointed because I feel like this should be the exact kind of matchup where our deck shines. But it didn't work out this time. It is not a fast hand, but we do have a Wrath. We can Eternal Dragon for white mana. Thawing Glaciers can find more white mana. We even have one of our 2 Decree of Justice, so we can even make a creature this game, which doesn't happen much with this deck. Well, let's see what our opponent's up to. Schwamp and going to Duress. Well, all right, opponent, you got options. You got options. 5 on the play with Duress is rough, though, unless they're going to combo kill us. Unless they're going to combo kill, that is a little bit rough. Well, let's see what they take here. If they take the Phyrexian Furnace, I feel like that's a pretty clear sign that they're a graveyard deck. All right, they take the Wrath. So there's some sort of creature deck. Opponent passes. We draw swords. Well, let's play the Core Haven. And I think we just get down this Phyrexian Furnace and start exiling away the graveyard past the turn. I mean, swords should be good at some point. I guess it could be like a Rack deck. Maybe discard, but then why do you take the Wrath? Because Rack doesn't... Well, okay, so our opponent is a Rack deck. We do have a lot of artifact and enchantment removal. Or, yeah, maybe not a lot, but we have some. And a Mishra's Factory. I mean, we do have a Wasteland that can deal with that at some point. Opponent passes. We draw. Just drawing a Plains would be sweet. I think the biggest issue we might have is our card draw is Grafted Skull Clamp, which is really good, but might not line up that well with the Rack. So we're going to have to find artifact removal to blow up the Rack. That is step 1. Don't really want to wasteland this Mishra's Factory. We have 2 swords in hand, and I feel like they just can't have that many creatures. So kind of want to try to get a Plains with the Eternal Dragon, and then swords. Ooh, opponent's going to Cabal Therapy. Well, in response, let's Plains Cycle Eternal Dragon. If our opponent names swords here, that's actually pretty annoying for us. That's actually really bad for us. They don't know about the swords, right? The fact that we do 2 of them in a 112 card main deck is awkward. All right, they named Decree of Justice, which obviously is not great. We did kind of want that. However, it's better than losing 2 cards to the which would have been even worse. Opponent going to fire up the tapped Mishra's Factory. Oh, now they're going to Cabal Therapy the swords? Okay. So opponents, wow, they're going to go down to 1 land to Cabal Therapy the swords. I mean, I guess they have to do it now because of... Actually, we could have prevented this with the Phyrexian Furnace. But I feel like it's kind of okay. Like, our opponent sacrificing a land to flashback Cabal Therapy doesn't seem that bad to me. So upkeep, we're going to sacrifice this, exile a swords, draw a card. So we don't take damage from the Rack. Then we will play Thawing Glaciers, pass the turn. All right, this might be a slow one. Opponent untaps 1 land. I mean, opponent does not have that many resources, though. Finds another factory. And opponent. I mean, I feel like this Thawing Glacier is going to do some work by bouncing back to our hand. We untap and draw. Ooh, Grafted Skull Clamp. I don't think we want to play that yet. I think we want to try to answer this Rack first. Like, it's insane if we can get rid of the Rack, but play the Plains. Play the Mind Stone. Mind Stone's actually kind of nice, too, because we can use it to draw a card. Oh, about it. Schwamp. All right, land number 3. What does this mean? Hypnotic Spectre. Okay, that is annoying. Well, let's Thawing Glaciers. Get a Plains. Pick up the Thawing Glaciers. We take 0. We could get back Eternal Dragon. I don't think we do yet, though. Oh, Icy. Icy is actually excellent. That is excellent, excellent, excellent. So 1, 2, 3. Let's... Actually, do we leave the Wasteland up? 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I guess we're going to tap it anyway. Let's play the Icy Manipulator. Play the Wasteland. In case our opponent decides to get frisky with the Mishra's Factory. So now we can just tap down the Hippie. And the one thing about Mono Black and Premodern, they are not going to be able to kill an artifact. That is just not a thing our opponent can do. I don't think, I mean, they might have like Powder Keg or something, but they should be very bad at killing artifacts. So tap down Hypnotic Spectre. Don't really want to get hit by that. Opponent going to fire up the factory. Going to attack. Well, I mean, yeah, let's Wasteland it. Opponent, Cursed Scroll. Opponent passes. We take 1. We draw an Eternal Dragon. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to play the Grafted Skull Clamp. We're going to play the Thawing Glaciers. We're going to go for it. We're going to go for it. This is risky. This is definitely risky. Because we're putting ourselves empty-handed, which plays around the Curse Scroll. But is not... And also the Hypnotic Spectre. Opponent finds another factory. Well, let's tap down the Hypnotic Spectre. So, we just need to find a way to blow up this rack, essentially. That is the missing piece of this puzzle. Is a way to blow up the rack. And then we should be able to deal with the rest of it. All right, opponent's going to pass and try to do Curse Scroll things. Well, it's going to be interesting. We're going to take 3 from the rack. We're not going to get back Eternal Dragon. We're just going to draw 2. Thawing Glaciers and Kajoran Output. I think we just play Thawing Glaciers and pass the turn. I think this is the best plan. The way we're going to try to play around this rack for the time being. Well, there's no way they're going to name Kajoran. If they name Kajoran Outpost, I would be absolutely amazed. That would be the best naming I've ever seen with a Cursed Scroll. I'm not even convinced that Cursed Scroll works. Oh, opponent reveals their card. Oh, I'm so dumb. All right, so opponent's passing. I think this means we need to Wasteland the factory. Oh, no. I'm going to get very yelled at because I was playing Cursed Scroll super wrong. I was playing Cursed Scroll, naming the opponent's cards, but no, we're naming our own card. Duh. Well, we will Thawing Glaciers, ramp out of Plains. Opponent going to Cursed Scroll. Well, that'll give you something to yell at me about in the comments. So we drop to 12. Thawing Glaciers. We get a Plains. Sack the Mind Stone. Okay, there's a Seal of Cleansing. That is nice. That is nice. So we pick up the Thawing Glacier. So we only take 2. Or only take 1. We get to draw 2. Felwar Stone. Kajoran Outpost. So, step 1. 1, 2. Seal of Cleansing. Get rid of the rack. 1, 2. Felwar Stone. Kajoran Outpost, sack of Plains, and pass the turn. All right, so we got to discard. Well, we found a way to deal with the rack, which is good. So next step is dealing with this Curse Scroll. So opponent gonna go to combat. We will tap down the Hypnotic Spectre. Opponent's gonna Curse Scroll. Sure, reveal the Snuff Out that we know about. So we drop to 9. Finding a way to gain some life would be nice. We will Thawing Glaciers. Get a Plains out of the deck. All right, so we pick up the Thawing Glaciers. Do we want to get back? Yeah, I think we wait. Let's just draw. We draw a Mind Stone and a Dust Bowl. Well, okay, so 1, 2. Play the Mind Stone. I think we actually play the Dust Bowl. Do we play the Dust Bowl? That's a question. The downside with Dust Bowl is it doesn't do anything right now. The upside is if they draw another factory, it's very good. But I guess we have the factory covered in other ways. Yeah, let's go with Thawing Glaciers. Let's go with Thawing Glaciers, pass the turn. I mean, we are on a clock here, right? This Curse Scroll is going to kill us over the course of a few turns. Opponent going to curse scroll on their upkeep before they draw for the turn. Yeah. Unfortunately, Core Haven only prevents damage from an attacking creature, does not prevent curse scroll damage. So opponent reveals the Snuff Out, hits us to 7. If they top deck another rack, it becomes very scary right now. So we will tap down Hypnotic Spectre. Opponent plays a land. All right, they still got the Snuff Out. So Kajarn Outpost, make a soldier. We have a clock. All right, we get to draw some cards. Okay, swords and a plains. We don't have anything great to swords. Go to combat, get in with the soldier. Swords the Hypnotic Spectre. Play the plains. Pass the turn. All right, I mean, we're on a clock. Peace of Mind would actually be our best find. Peace of Mind to gain life, I think, is what wins us this game if we can find it. So opponent can do their upkeep trick again. We would like to strand them with a card in hand, or more than one card in hand, so they're not guaranteed to be able to hit us with this. This is a downside of being an 85 card deck. We just don't have that many. The odds of us drawing the specific card we want, especially one of like Peace of Mind, not very high. Opponent's going to float a mana during their draw step in response to the Icy. Sure. And 2 mana. Wait, just kidding. Oh, I don't think they realized it was during their draw step. All right, opponent, mana goes to waste. And wow, they top decked a rack. That is insane. Okay, so we get 2 Thawing Glaciers. Get a Plains. Crack the Mind Stone. Draw an Icy that doesn't do enough. Kajarn Outpost. Okay, well, this is the turn. Man, another rack off the top is literally exactly what we needed our opponent to not draw. Okay, well, so we pick up the Thawing Glaciers. Still not getting back Eternal Dragon because we need the mana. So we go to 4. We draw a card with Grafted Skull Clamp. Oh, it's a Dust Bowl. And a Plains. And that puts us to dead, right? 1, 2, yeah, that puts us to dead. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. We have Life Gain, Disenchant, Peace of Mind, Abolish, Ivory Mask. We have a ton of things we can bring in against this deck. Can we resolve them? That is another question. So those are the cards we're interested in. I don't think Ray of Revelation really does anything. Their big payoffs are artifacts, so we can get rid of Ray of Revelation. Phyrexian Furnace, I guess that was a mull to 5 too. Man, that is brutal. Maybe we go down a couple of Winds of Wrath. Like, they don't have that many creatures, right? We do need to make sure we don't get hit by the creatures they do have, but they don't have that many of them. Like, how many Wraths are correct? We need to cut like 6 more cards. Yeah, let's go down the routes. And maybe 2 Wrath of Gods? Yeah, I guess we just cut a bunch of Wraths. I don't think they have that many creatures, so all right. On to game number 2, we're on the play. Let's see how this hand looks. 1 Forest. Man, this is not a deck you want to mulligan against. Oh, well, we have a million lands. There's a single green source in this deck. 1 Forest that we can tutor up. That is not ever the card that we want in our opening hand, and this is not exactly what we were hoping for. Oh, this sets us up to get so wrecked by... This sets us up to just lose to Cabal Therapy, but there's not much we can do about it. Opponent Swamp. And gonna cast some discard, I'm sure. Urza's Bauble. Okay. Cracks the Bauble. Finds the Plains. Well, at least they didn't see the Grafted Skull Clamp. Oh, yeah, it's scary. That's very scary. Very, very, very scary. Opponent. I wonder if we made a mistake last game by letting them flash back. Man, I feel like it was the right choice at the time to let them flash back. Even, they cost him a land, right, to flash back that Cabal Therapy. I feel like that had to be the right choice. Although he didn't end up winning, so... Opponent has the rack. All right. Well, we will start the exiling. Opponent passes. They get to draw a card. Man, yeah, mulliganing against this deck is very not good. Well, there's that forest that we apparently can never get away from. Plains, go. Still very, very scared of our opponent finding a Cabal Therapy. Opponent, land, swamp, add. Ravenous Rats to make us discard a card. Well, we will discard the forest. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. We're gonna crack the furnace, draw a card. It's a plains. We draw another furnace. So play the furnace, play the land, pass the turn. We have a lot of artifact removal in the deck. Man, if they Cabal Therapy this turn, I'm so sad. Swamp. Ravenous Rats. Well, we'll discard a Skull Clamp. Opponent combat. Gonna get in and hit us. Well, maybe we get to get the Skull Clamp down at least. Down to 19. Hold, hold. Please, we need the Skull Clamp. No. No. Funeral Charm. All right, so we will sack the furnace, draw a card, discard the Fellware Stone. I mean, we're going in on the Skull Clamp. We got to hit artifact removal quick, though. Like, that is the TLDR. Well, play the Grafted Skull Clamp. No cards in hand. Pass the turn. We're taking 3 from the rack. We brought in a ton of artifact removal, though, so I think it's the literal most likely thing we draw, right, is artifact removal, because our deck is absolutely overflowing with it. Opponent, of course, finds a Curse Scroll to increase the clock, and now we're taking a lot each turn. Opponent going to get in and hit us. So we basically need the artifact removal this turn, but we have a ton of it in our deck. Opponent hits us down to 16. Opponent. We got to get rid of this rack. Got to get rid of the rack, and then we got to get rid of the Curse Scroll. All right, we take 3 down to 13. Come on, Magic Gods. Reward us with a sideboard card, please. Well, we get to draw 2. Thawing Glaciers, not it. And Marble Diamond, not it. Jeez. Well, the odds of us being dead increasing greatly. Increasing very greatly. Now I think we're probably dead. Found it. I mean, this time it's a 50-50. Maybe they whiff. Curse Scroll. All right, opponent reveals a Cabal. Wow, they had a Cabal Therapy. Did not get any damage out of it. Plays the factory. Yeah, we are running out of time. Opponent combat. Opponent gonna get in and hit us. Now I'm not even sure an artifact removal spell does it, now that there's a factory too. Alright, down to 11. Virtual 8. And that's not even including this Curse Scroll that our opponent's about to activate. See if they can get some damage. We know there's a Cabal Therapy in hand, because they revealed it last time. Cabal Therapy reveals Cabal Therapy. Gets damage out of Cabal Therapy. We drop to 6. Well, it all comes down to this. Port, that's not it. And another Skull Clamp. And wow. Well, there is the longest, jankiest, weirdest league that I think we have ever played. So a little recap. Man, those last two matches went super rough. So. Match 1. We lost game 1. We were winning game 2, and then we timed out. Match 2, we won game 1. We were winning game 2 almost 100%, and then we timed out. Match 3, we lost game 1. We were losing game 2, and then our opponent timed out. And then really the most disappointing matches were these last two. Match 4, we're up against elves, which I feel like looking at our deck list should be a really good matchup. Didn't work out that way at all. And then match 5, I don't know what to say about that one. On one hand, the rack, pretty good against all of our random creature removal. Like, they don't have that many creatures that they care about dying. On the other hand, and we don't really have good card draw. Like, our card draw plan of Grafted Skullcap is really good in a lot of matchups. Not especially good in that one, because discarding your hand on the end step is very rough. On the other hand, our deck has a ton of artifact removal, and not being able to find any after sideboarding was actually kind of brutal. So what do we learn about this deck? And I don't know I honestly do not know what to say about this deck. So it kind of worked. The biggest issue we ran into, so here's the biggest issue. Here's the biggest issue I found with this deck. When we won, it was fine. Which I guess kind of didn't ever really happen. But when we lose really quickly and easily. Which is fine. When we're winning, the problem we run into is the clock becomes a really big issue. And that is the gimmick of the deck, right? We're playing 112 main deck cards, 127 cards altogether. In a very real sense, the win con is forcing our opponent to play through their entire deck and running out of clock. The problem that we ran into with this is that plan involves a ton of clicking, right? Like, it involves activating multiple ports each turn to tap down lands. It involves activating multiple ices each turn, or trying to use Mishra's Helix, which is oddly hard to use on Moto when they zoom out and make the land super tiny to tap down all your opponent's lands. So our plan of like staxing and disrupting our opponent, it is effective. It is just very, 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 very slow. Which becomes an issue with the clock. I will say, I definitely punted with Curse Scroll. It's been a long time since I played Curse Scroll, and I played that card super wrong. Obviously, the way our opponent played it was correct. For some reason, I had in my head that we were trying to name a card in our opponent's hand. So we only activated a couple times through the whole league, but the couple times I did, I was trying to guess what it was in our opponent's hand. Obviously, it's a card in our hand. So yeah, that is kind of the issue. So I think the actual idea with Curse Scroll is it takes advantage of Grafted Skull Clamp, because we're not going to have many cards in hand, so we can know what's in our hands, so we can get the damage out of it. So it does actually seem pretty good there. So that, I think, is something I definitely did wrong in the league. But the deck itself, like, it's interesting, it's funny, the idea is hilarious, but I came away feeling like it's definitely a very against the odds deck. Like, it stacks his people really hard. It definitely can get wins, but there's also a lot of consistency issues. And really, I'm not sure that the funny plan of winning by never dying, just like playing so many cards that if no one can kill each other, you win by your opponent milling out first. I'm not actually sure if that's like the best plan for this deck. If it wasn't for the time issues and the risk of timing out when you're winning, then I think the plan would actually be very effective. It's probably a plan that would be way more effective in paper. In paper, if you go back to some of those matches that we lost, right? Like the one that we won game 1 and then timed out in game 2 in a winning position. In paper, if you were in a tournament, you would have actually won that game. You would have won it 1-0. So maybe it's a deck that would work better in paper than it does on Magic Online. But I gotta say, the deck's super fun to play. I just love these like prison-y style decks. I love all the stacks pieces. The gimmick's funny, even though we never actually made it work. I think in one game we got someone down to 7 cards, 6 cards. Like, we came very, very close to actually running people out of cards with the deck, but we never actually got there. So I don't know. That's Premodern. That is 127 card stacks. That is, I think, the longest league I've ever played on Moto, although we did speed up in those last 2 rounds where we lost kind of quickly in those. So overall record-wise, to finish things up today, 1 win that we shouldn't have won, 1 loss that we should have won, another loss that we might have won, and then 2 actual losses. So technically our record is 1-4 overall, although in reality, I think our record is probably 2-3 if you get around the timeouts. Like, I don't know. We would have lost to Storm if timeouts were a thing. We would have won match 2 for sure if the clock wasn't a thing. We may have won round 1 if the clock wasn't a thing. And then the last 2 rounds, we actually just lost fairly. Although, man, with so many. I'm curious what the math is. What is the math on this? In match 5, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 cards that blow up an artifact and enchantment. This will be a great way to end this video. So let's pull up. I'm curious. This will be a good example. A good example of how much playing so many cards changes the actual math. So 12 artifact removal spells after sideboarding. So in a normal deck, if we're playing 60 cards and we have 12 artifact removal spells, what are odds of drawing one by like turn 4, let's say? So let's say 11 cards, drawing one of them. In a 60 card deck, our odds are actually very good. With 12 cards, 93% of the time, we will have hit an artifact removal spell by turn 4. But what if you play 112 cards in your main deck? What's the math look like then? Cool. Then it drops all the way down to 73%. So that is kind of the cost, right? There is a cost to playing that many cards in your deck. And maybe it's not a surprise that we didn't hit the artifact removal spell to blow up the rack because we got so many cards in the deck. But yeah, anyway, that is 127 cards. Win by never dying, stacks for Premodern. That's been our Against Odds for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed this ridiculous, incredibly long, and very confusing week. Oh, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to yell at me for the cursed scroll pun. I know. I should have read the card. It explains the card. And I'll be back soon for another one. So until then, have a lovely day, everyone. And I will talk to you soon.